Welcome, everyone, to the Four Post Massacre Podcast, the only podcast where we take four wrestling segments and we break them down bit by bit. I am your host. Of course, you can simply call me Zaya. With me tonight is the pot father himself, Mr. Adam Jackpot.
Hi, everybody. It is I, once again, here to do this thing. I'm excited.
Turn your mic up a bit.
You turn your mic up a bit, I'll kill you.
Turn up your mic a bit.
It's, alright. You introduce the guest.
Alright. Hold on, everybody. Just gonna turn up Adam Jackpot on my side, but while we're doing that, we do have a very special guest here. He's, you might have heard his voice a few times over whether you're, part of the clan, or you watch Adam's show, CMC, or, New Dawn, or Sirens. He is none other than, Mr. Positively More Money, whatever you want to call him. He is More. Welcome, More.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here.
So I gotta ask you, what's your knowledge in terms of just modern day wrestling?
My knowledge on modern wrestling?
Yes.
I still see wrestling as how I believe wrestling now is just, I don't know, everything just completely changes. You know, last year we had the whole pandemic thing. That was, no crowds, it felt weird, and overall I think my knowledge is like, something else. It's like, I know, but not all knowing. I'm not that much experience.
Do you mainly just stay with the like stuff that you see on TV, or do you ever?
Yeah, mainly for shows like, you know, AEW or, you know, AEW and the WWE that's happened on TV.
Alright. Well, this should be a very good episode to you because we are mainly going to be covering AEW on this show, because we've got two big shows that happened over the past week that featured AEW. The Friday show, and then, of course, we have Double or Nothing, which we'll get to later on the show. But, as usual, we're going to start off with AEW Dynamite that took place from...
Dynamite! Dynamite!
This place... shit. No! This fucking show took place at, surprise, Daly's place. But it wasn't just...
It was a full fucking crowd.
Yeah,
baby.
it wasn't. Yeah, it was not just any Daly's place, not the typical Daly's place with a few people here and there. Full capacity Daly's place, a full capacity wrestling show.
Not just full capacity to the point of the crowd, to the point that one entranceway, people on the stage, live and awake, crazy as hell. Listen, I understand that some people right now are still kind of like in the iffy situation on like what's going on with the pandemic and everything. And yes, by no means is it over. We're not out of the ballpark yet. But seeing shit like this made me... the show could have been fucking garbage, but the crowd made it for me. I felt so happy. It's like we're getting back to that point again. And again, wrestling needs its crowd. And these two shows showed it.
Oh, yeah. If anything, it shows how pivotal wrestling crowds are to wrestling shows. Because, we'll get to that because we're about to cover Dynamite. Because it pretty much showed during the first match, which we're going to get to right now. We opened up the night with Darby Allin taking on Cesar Bononi in singles. Cesar Bononi.
Along with the wingmen of Ryan Nemeth, JD Drake, and Pretty Peter Avalon.
So this one was basically, it wasn't like anything special. It was mostly just Darby selling his ass off for Caesar for a good majority of this contest.
This whole match was not designed to be anything special or anything crazy. It was designed, Darby goes out, hits his best moments, and that crowd is happy. And that's all this was. This was, yep, let Darby go out there, let that crowd fucking be eating this shit up, and let's start off hot. And that's exactly what happened. This match did not need to be a crazy 10-minute match. It was exactly as long as it needed to be.
More.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, kind of felt like, this is a little booster before, Double or Nothing, because, the whole tag team match with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, and Sting making his in-ring return in front of a live crowd.
Yeah. So after the match pretty much ends with Darby hitting his usual signature stunner, followed up by the coffin drop for the victory. After the match, it's pretty much Darby gets the microphone, calls out Ethan and Scorpio, set up for their match at Double or Nothing. Scorpio and Ethan come out, they do their usual back and forth.
Love the line here. You expect us to come down there and fight in our fancies and fight you for free. I love the fact that they're calling their nice clothes fancies. Just, it's more heel heat. I love them.
Yeah, you just gotta love this team of Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. I mean, it's actually, they're like probably one of the good teams that I could see probably one day be tag champs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're gonna get to that when we talk about Double or Nothing later on, but I think they really proved themselves as a tag team at Double or Nothing. But again, we'll get to that later. So yeah, Ethan and Scorpio come out and say they're not wrestling for free. They pretty much leave, and then Sting and Darby get attacked by JD Drake, Cesar Bodoni, Peter Avalon,
and attacked by the Wingman.
Yeah, the Wingman.
And then Scorpio and Ethan are like, alright, I guess we're gonna fucking join it as well. So they all start fighting. They're about to Pillmanize Sting's leg. And then here come the Dark Order. Which again, something I'm enjoying about all this AEW stuff. It seems like everything is somewhat intertwined somehow. And it just makes for a fresh environment. It feels like everything is connected and everything's not just one segment. So the Dark Order, they run down for the big save. Everybody scatters, and a great way to start off the show. All the baby faces, Sting and Darby, crowd's hot as hell, and how else can you ask for a better opener?
Yeah, it was actually quite the opening, seeing all this go down in front of a live crowd. Just seeing that, it's like saying, God, I do miss them crowds.
I think. Yeah, just listening to the crowd reaction for everything that was going on there, it was just very good to hear, and it was very much needed.
Will say the one thing though, I don't know if anybody else caught this, but at least for Friday, and it was probably because they were getting used to it again. It did sound at points. I thought the crowd sounded a little too low. They massively fixed that for the pay-per-view.
Oh,
so it might have just been an issue with the Friday night show, but like certain moments I thought had a bigger response coming. It just wasn't there yet, but besides that, I thought it was very good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So after that, obviously this is all setting up for Evil Uno and Stu Grayson to take on Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky later on in the night. But after this segment, we've got the weigh-in for the match between Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes.
So how we made it clear that the opening thing that we saw tonight was a great way for the fans to come back. They immediately killed that.
Wow.
With this weigh-in that God bless Big Show's soul, but they should have got somebody else to do the scaling because wow, this felt like it went on forever.
He didn't know what he was doing.
He did not know what
he didn't know what the fuck he was doing out there. Like, why am I doing this?
Like, who would actually... I mean,
that's
Paul White...
The worst thing is that's not even the only thing, because I'll talk about it later tonight, but Tony Schiavone has another instance where it's like, why is he the man doing this? And we'll talk about that in the Sheeta thing. But it's like, why aren't we putting people in charge?
Tony Soprano there, that's Turtle.
Hey,
have some respect!
Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
I mean, who else would probably take over if it wasn't Paul White that was gonna, host this whole weigh-in thing?
Oh no, he could have hosted it. That would have been fine. But let Bryce or Aubrey do the weighing part, so that it's not like Big Show standing there for 10 minutes with the little thingy while a Go-Go's like, "Come on, bro." Big Show didn't know what he was doing. And again, wow, what a way to deflate the crowd.
It's just Cody tried his best too, because he was really trying to pump this, this is exciting, yeah, let's go, because he was trying to play up to the crowd a lot during this segment, just to do anything so that you didn't lose them.
They didn't want this. I didn't want this. It does nothing. The worst part is you didn't gimmick it or do anything fun. It was just a straightforward weigh-in, no attacks afterwards. All they did was he stands on the rope and gets booed, and he stands on the rope and he gets cheered. Oh, America! There was no QT rigged it so that a Go-Go was 230 or some shit. And he was bigger. No, there was 1 pound difference. The fuck? This shit sucked. This shit.
Oh yeah, fucking. It was what's it? Fucking. I can't remember his name now. Short hair. Huh? QT. Yeah, it was QT. He was dude, you can see Anthony Ogogo, 219 pounds. Cody Rhodes, 218 pounds. You can see it right now because of that 1 pound difference. Anthony Ogogo, he's gonna win. It's academic. What the fuck are you talking about?
1 pound difference. This segment's. Why didn't they gimmick anything here? This was the perfect time to do a gimmick. If they would have had a little scuffle, the crowd would have been so happy. Instead it was basic weigh-in. Nothing happens. Bye. Give it up for Paul White, everyone. God bless America. Beautiful black-white princess.
I mean, I guess it's just one way to, fill out, this next part before we get to the action that was coming up next. It's a filler thing to me.
Oh, but I don't know. I got nothing else to say about this. This shit sucked.
Yeah. After this, they do a promo package for the next Stadium Stampede. It's pretty much what you expect. They showcase the history between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle throughout their career, and them going back and forth, and we're going to end the Inner Circle at Stadium Stampede. Is going to be ending, and blah, 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 blah. It's everything you've heard before from these teams.
After that, though, we go backstage, and Powerhouse Hobbs beating the shit out of Christian.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes on for a few minutes, and then it's broken up by BJ Whitmer and Jeremy Lynn.
You forgot the best part where for Christian spears Hobbs.
Oh, speared him! I forgot about the spear through boxes.
Yeah, those their boxes.
Of course. So that happened, and then we get a rundown of all the participants in the Casino Battle Royal. We'll go over the Battle Royal later on when we talk about Double or Nothing. But then we move into what might be my favorite match of the night. It's definitely up there, because I love these guys equally. Of course, it's Hangman Adam Page and my brother from another mother, Joey Janela.
Yep, Hangman and Janela have their first match since, I believe it was, when did they say it was? They had a match back at, was it All Out? They had their match?
Yeah. It was
it was All In.
All In is when they had their match.
Yes, where they had the Cracker Barrel street fight.
Which had an ending that nobody likes to talk about anymore.
Cracker Barrel.
These two have a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. Hangman's extremely over, and that was pretty much.
Crap.
That's just
the crowd has not missed a beat on Hangman.
They love him. It's not hard to see why. Dude's fantastic.
The now that we're getting the crowds back, I mean, it's only a matter of time.
He was a bit stiff-ski with Janelle in this match.
He was. I don't know what was going on there, or if the two of them were just like, let's go out there and beat the shit out of each other, because Janelle is not a man who's like afraid of just going out there and getting himself kicked out. Of course, I mean, Janelle doing all of his great spots. Interesting to note, as a man who does the dabbling in the other forms of the AEW content, on a recent episode of Elevation, or Dark, Joey Janela accompanied friend Sonny Kiss to the ring. I think he was fighting Bear Bronson, Joey Janela was, and he lost, but then afterwards, Sonny was attacked, and Joey didn't help him. Or them. Sorry, Joey didn't help them. He just left. But on this episode, there was no tension shown, so I'm interested to see where that's going.
That's probably going to be just particularly an Elevation feud.
I'm just surprised that there was no mention of it on the show at all. Since Sonny came with Joey to the ring.
Yeah, I could definitely see the tension just happening at Elevation, really. And if he didn't do shit, it's like, where were you, Joey? I need my Joseph.
So, you wanted to keep going?
Nah, just you can go ahead.
So, like, Janela does his usual shtick. Hangman got to show off a lot more of his power in this one, and he got to hit some cool-looking moves as well. He hit, like, a springboard clothesline onto Janela while Janela was on the apron, which looked cool. He caught Janela out of midair and hit him with a fall-away slam at one point. Hit him with a pretty stiff rolling elbow as well, which looked pretty cool. And then at the end of the match, where he just winds up completely with that buckshot lariat, and fucking Janela just goes down like a ton of bricks. Like, he didn't do the flip cell that most people do.
No, he crumbled.
He fucking crumbled with that shit.
Listen, again, these two have really good chemistry. Again, the match that they've had in the past, the matches they've had, because I do think there was a triple threat involved, and personally don't talk about it anymore. They know how to work, and Janela gets too much shit, but he's very good at what he does, and he can sell his ass off and make somebody look like $1 million. And he made, no pun intended, he made that buckshot look like $1 million. And the whole point of this match clearly was to show Brian Cage is a beast, but so is Hangman. So have him go out there and kill Joey Janela, who can take a shit ton of damage, but if that buckshot crumbled him, it all worked out well. This match was exactly what it needed to be, and a fun match at the same time.
So, my problems with Janela isn't that, I think my problem with Janela in AEW is that I just wish he was on TV more. Because I think he's the person that people want to get behind, but I don't think they know too much about him. Other than, maybe stuff they've seen online, which I think is kind of hurting him at the moment. Because he gets, all these big opportunities, but most of the time he just loses them. After the match, Hangman is confronted by the Machine, Brian Cage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. We need to bring this up since we're going to talk about this promo. Somewhere in this match, Hangman gets busted. I've gone back 8 times, and I still have no idea how he starts bleeding.
Yeah,
and he's gushing blood during this promo. Makes him look like a badass motherfucker. But he's gushing, and I'm like, where did this happen?
Yeah, I was very confused by that. I didn't see where he got busted open. He just started bleeding profusely out of nowhere, it seems. So I was like, huh. Alright.
Yeah, that was I didn't, that was out of nowhere, just how did Paige get busted open like that?
He starts cutting this promo blood gushing. He is straight-faced, calm, cool, and collected, like a badass cowboy, being like, "Yep, here comes Ricky. Yep, here comes Hook. Come on, guys, get in the ring. We know what's about to happen. Blah, 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 blah. New fucking plan, Taz. Come on, come on." And he's just, and the crowd is eating it up. And man, Hangman is just, he just looks like a star. He looks like a true, genuine star, just in there. The way he is, with his posture, Hangman. Sorry, go ahead. I'll stop gushing.
So, Cage comes out there. It looks like he's gonna be another attack, but Hangman pretty much cuts him off before he even gets the chance. He grabs the microphone. It's like, this is typical Brian Cage antics, Team Taz antics. You guys are gonna come out. You're gonna sneak attack me. I thought you were like this big man. I thought you had testicles, but it seems like they shriveled up a long time ago. I thought that was like a steroid reference, but I don't think he meant it that way.
I think it was a steroid reference, though. It had to be.
So this pretty much leads to Hangman pretty much saying, "Hey, if you're so tough, if you think you're so, all that and stuff, it's like, why don't you leave the boys in the back, come our match at Double or Nothing, fight me fair 1-on-1." And Cage pretty much taking the bait. He's like, all right, yeah, let's do it. And meanwhile, you got the rest, like, team has like, okay, well, you want to think about this? And he's like, no, fuck that. Let's go, pussy, 1v1 me. And so that's pretty much it. It's gonna be Hangman, and it's gonna be Cage at Double or Nothing. No Team Taz interference.
They say.
So, yeah, as we will get to.
As we will address. But after this, we cut to outside Mox and Kingston. They're digging a hole. They're about to bury these Dior 1 Jordans. Mox with a great line calling the Bucks Rod and Todd Flanders. And then they cut to commercial.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else had that, but in the middle of the promo, commercial.
Yeah, no, they all saw it. I don't understand why that happened.
There was a timing problem? I mean, how does that happen?
I have no idea. But I thought
go ahead.
I thought it was a good promo for what it was. I don't know what the hell happened there, but hopefully they have it. They get that shit fixed. So after that, this leads us to an in-ring segment. We're supposed to get Orange Cassidy's, decision. What's he gonna do at Double or Nothing? Is he gonna sit this one out, or is he gonna take the title shot? So you got Shivani in the middle of the ring, calls out Cassidy, but surprise, surprise, it's not OC. It's Pac.
OC Pac?
Orange Cassidy is his initials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pac pretty much gonna say, I expect you someone else, and then he proceeds to just dump on everybody. He dumps on OC and he dumps on Omega for a bit. Callis then comes on to the screen and distracts Pac for a bit to allow Omega to get the sneak up on him. Omega comes out. He's about to lay out Pac with the one-winged angel, but then Orange Cassidy's music hits. And then Orange Cassidy walks down to the ring. He had a letter. He had a letter.
Well, hold on. You forgot that, the Good Brothers, they show up. The Lucha Brothers also came out. So I'm cool with seeing a Lucha Brothers Good Brothers match. I think that.
You don't even like the Lucha. You don't even like the Good Brothers.
No. I like Carl Anderson.
But you don't like Big Dangly? You don't like Big Dangly?
He can.
Oh my god!
He can dangle off a cliff. But Orange Cassidy does come out. Crowd. The first time we're hearing that Pixie song, crowd already alive and awake. Know who it is. Huge pop for Orange Cassidy, the best friends, and Chris. And then, I couldn't have expected anything else from Orange Cassidy but to open the envelope and pour out just a bunch of little pieces of a contract.
Oh, the contract pretty much saying, fuck you, gives the orange punch to Omega, gives the orange punch to Pac, pretty much signifying... Yeah, holds the belt up, pretty much signifying I'm gonna be in that triple threat come Double or Nothing. And
we're gonna talk about that.
Oh, fuck! I can't wait to talk.
Fucking good match.
Can't wait to talk about that.
But up next, Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill.
Oh no,
Mom.
Yes, it did.
Girl.
But backstage before the match, Tony Schiavone. He's interviewing Jade. Matt Hardy interrupts, pretty much being like, "Come on, girl, when you coming over to the HFO?" But lo and behold, somebody may have had Jade's ear quicker than Matt Hardy, and that would be lawyer Mr. Sterling, Mark Sterling. Who, of course, I am a big fan of. Courtesy of the Major Wrestling Figures podcast.
I don't like this.
We called it. I said this was gonna happen. I knew it. We said what's gonna happen here with Jade and Sterling, and they're gonna be a team together.
No.
Now, granted, it's not as comedically funny as I'm glad it's not. But hey, it's worked out. Mark Sterling tells Jade that unlike Matt Hardy, who's gonna take money. Nope, all the money is going straight to Jade, and nothing goes to Mark Sterling. Matt Hardy says, good luck with your match, but it sounded like he was also complimenting him. It was very weird. Matt Hardy runs off. Matt Hardy's a gem. And then we get on to the match. It's Jade Cargill and Kylan King.
Kylan King, that's how you pronounce her name. I was wondering how you pronounced her first name. I was never entirely sure. Kylan. I'm going to have to write that down.
Kylan King, who's been making a little bit of a way for herself, courtesy of the Dark and Elevation roots. I believe she was something like 12-2.
Kylan?
Huh.
Yeah, she ranked. You farm Dark, you farm Elevation.
You're never gonna find me ever going to just go out of my way to watch Dark, Elevation, Dark, or anything.
We're gonna have to watch Rampage.
No.
What do you mean? No, it's an extension. But again, this was just another showcase for Jade, but her longest to date. And honestly, I was interested to see how longer Jade Cargill match can go, and she still holds her own. How did the W pass on this woman?
Stupidity.
Right?
Racism.
Because they also passed on a Go-Go, which I found out, but a Go-Go was like, nah, I care about wrestling more than money, which good for you, a Go-Go. But yeah, Jade Cargill just giving it her all to Kylan King. Kylan gives her a lot of good back and forth. There's a cross body attempt where Jade just catches her and says, nah, fuck that shit.
So, yeah, it basically comes down to where Kylan is taken to the outside. Mark distracts her on the outside. Kylan gets back in the ring, immediately gets captured with the fucking glam slam from Jade Cargill. And yeah, like you said, simple but effective showcase for Jade. She looked good.
It's called The Jaded.
The Jaded?
That's what the movie's called. It's called The Jade.
Jade.
What's Jade? But what's Jaded? What is Jaded? Is she jaded? What's so jaded about Jade?
Dude, I don't make up the names. I just listen to what the trailer tells me. I'm just doing my job.
What kind of producer are you? You're supposed to help me out here.
her finishing move is called Jaded. I don't know why it's called Jaded. I
Like
guess the person gets jaded. I don't know. It's because her name is Jade.
Like a jaded angle?
I'm done here. Move on.
Move on. We got the next match is the TNT Championship match. As Miro defends the title against Dante Martin, who is apparently on an 8-win streak in AEW.
Yeah, it's over on Dark.
Of course. This is how this works now.
Well, yeah, it's matches you win, you deserve title opportunities. Dante Martin, who's currently dealing with a little bit of a singles run, courtesy of the fact that his tag partner and brother, what the hell's his name? His brother's hurt with an ACL injury, which sucks. So he'll be on for a while. But unlike the W, where if you're in a tag team and your partner gets hurt, you do fucking jack shit. AEW still allows you to wrestle and do things, and that's what we get here today. And I mean, in this match, while Dante had a little bit of an offense here and there, he had some cool spots. This was just to showcase that Miro is a B, and yeah, he is one.
Pretty much. That's how Miro be, since part ways with Kip Sabian.
This match is pretty much how you thought it would go. Dante gets his little hope spots here and there, but for the most part, it's just Miro tossing his small ass around like he was yesterday's garbage. Dante gets like a cool Asai moonsault on Miro at one point, and I thought it looked pretty cool. Miro, though, hits the fucking super kick, and then after that, it's immediately game over as he locks in the camel clutch. And I love it. I love it because he does it to everyone now, which is great.
Yeah, it's like it's like a camel clutch into a sleeper.
It looks disgusting.
Yeah, especially when he gets it on people like Dante here, or like when he had it on Darby, where the bodies are a bit more easy to bend back, because then it's just like, oh my god, his back is enough to fit.
Yeah, like my god, when I saw it, that's it. He's gotta tap, because that position, the way that Miro just has them, that's gonna just destroy your back or put you to sleep or both.
Yeah, but after that, Jake Roberts.
Jake Roberts comes out and starts rambling like an old man.
What? It's like, oh, I'm going to talk to you in your language, and he starts talking in gibberish, and I'm like, oh my god, Jake, stop.
You come out here, your microphone, you huff, and you puff, you try to blow the house down. What the
What are you, Jake? Oh no, did Jake fall off the wagon again?
Jake doesn't know. But that's like every time they give Jake a microphone, it's like he says the most ridiculous shit. It's like, what the
Archer's in the back doing the whole like, oh, hold me back, bro. It's not like I can't just push this old man over and go fight him, which he eventually ends up doing. But first, we have to hear Jake Roberts
because I have to admit
talk
that
about whatever.
When I sat down with Jim Ross 2 weeks ago.
It came to the point where like Miro was like, all right, give me your fucking microphone. You gotta tell this fucking old man to shut the fuck. You don't even know what the hell are you even fucking talking about. And so
just for that, I'm gonna kill your snake, and we'll get to that.
And he killed something, all right. But this all leads to Archer.
But then Archer says fucking and dives!
Dives right on top of Miro. They have a huge brawl. They gotta get referees all down there to break them up. It's what you would expect if you were trying to build up to a match like this, and it worked well. It worked really well, in my opinion. Despite the Jake Roberts nonsense that he usually speaks on the microphone, I thought this was a pretty cool segment.
no complaints here. Definitely perfect build to excite you for this big, beefy boss fight come the pay-per-view. And, delivered.
But when I win that title, that
that's how you build up a monster versus a beast like Archer and Miro, a Murder Hog monster, and the beast of
and much like an era
Bulgaria. The way that they're doing it, I was actually looking forward to see how this one goes at Double or Nothing.
But after that segment, we move on to Hikaru Shida's 1-year anniversary celebration as AEW Women's Champion. Not the championship. We'll get to that, ladies and gentlemen. But Tony Schiavone, along with Bryce, they're out there. They have the title. They pretty much built up the praises and the accolades of Hikaru Shida as the AEW Women's Champion for a whole year. And
I know we have a big episode.
Uh-huh.
I want to try and condense as much as I can into most of these segments as possible.
Yep.
And I know that definitely we're going to talk about it in the news section, but I think why not just get it out of the way now?
Okay.
Let's address the Willie Urbina situation.
Yes. Okay. I would kind of wanted to avoid it myself, but yeah, let's do that. So
we should at least address what happened.
From my understanding, because I never read too much into it, but I saw the video. So apparently, it was him and was it Dasha who was on there with him?
It was him, Dasha, and Alex.
Yeah.
And they were, I guess, they must have a thing where every time there's somebody they have to translate, I guess they each take a turn that week. This is what I was, or at least I figured out from most people who were translating and were figuring out the situation, and they were trying to see who was going to, I guess, translate for Hikaru Shida this week. And they, Alex and Dasha had both asked, "Oh, well, Willie, it's your turn." To which Willie Urbina, longtime TNA Spanish announcer Willie Urbina, who, from my knowledge, never had a bad thing said about him, too late now, decided to offensively mock Hikaru Shida's accent with the traditional Asian stereotypical, mocking of their voice. To which Dasha and Alex laughed, but more or less
it was very much
and he kept going for a few minutes, and this was all going on during the Fight TV app feed, in which, where for most of the U.S. we get commercials, they don't, which means their mics are still hot, and it's always bad to not know when you have a hot mic on. From what I've learned from most times, and even here when we start the podcasting, always act as if your mic is on. In the middle of the pen, 7 days. And they did not do that.
No.
Willie Urbina was sacked immediately the following day.
Oh, you!
So, tough shit there, man.
Just come on. You work for it'd be bad, don't do this at all, ever, no matter what. You if you're in, some sort of, any vicinity whatsoever in which you're working, never do that. Because it's unacceptable. You will get your ass tossed the second that it happens. But for you to go and do that garbage on national TV, where does that thought process in which that's okay or acceptable or understandable to you? Because I'm really trying to figure out what you were trying to do there. It wasn't funny. You were clearly trying to mock the woman who is currently the top of the face of this women's division that they're trying to build up. What the fuck do you think? When the fuck did you think was gonna happen? Like, this is shit that fucking children make. Like, teenagers. But the fact that we still have this in professional, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm glad that the dude was like, because he needed to be made an example out of. Like, hey, you get suspended, or you get sent to,
yeah, him. I'll give credit to AEW when they haven't had a situation in which if somebody has something happen, they get like a slap on the wrist. No, it's immediately you're gone. So I give them credit for that wholeheartedly. I'm very happy that the real news came out, because I feel like at first everybody thought that it was everyone at the table. I'm glad to hear that Alex and Dasha had nothing really to do with this at all. Because I like Alex and Dasha a lot. So that's really good on that end, so they don't have to get a whole new commentary team. He deserved to get whacked. I do want to mention that about as of recording this, it's Tuesday morning, but an hour ago of this recording, Hikaru Shida did post on her Twitter responding to this, stating, "I didn't want to talk about this, also I'm going to do this the way she wrote it." I didn't want to talk about this before my big day, so let me tell you now, I don't give a shit what other people say about my race, because I love it and I'm proud of it. And because I know which is cool. I don't even feel anger, so don't need to worry about me. Smiley face emoji. Thank you.
It's a good thing that, like, she took, she took, the most reasonable road possible with that, which shows you the type of professionalism that Hikaru Shida has. Because if it were me, that dude would have been getting a mouthful, and not on Twitter. But if it ever happened to me, I legitimately might find him where he works and give him a mouthful, because that shit's unacceptable. Like, good God.
But I just wanted to. I knew we had to at least address that there. That's out of the way. More, do you have anything you want to say about it, or?
Advance, Allen Angels, Colt Cabana, Dark Order.
I want to say that's really messed up with what he was saying. Like if he's trying to do a job, just I guess don't make those types of remarks at all. Just don't do it, because that's one way to get yourself fired.
Saw that. It's taking advantage.
That's all.
And not only will it get you deserve to be fired if you ever do that, because no, absolutely not. But basically,
go on to what is a good thing, and it's this beautiful celebration for Hikaru Shida. It comes out in this beautiful dress, and not only that.
So yeah, Hikaru Shida comes out. She's got this beautiful red dress coming down the ring with the old belt. And yeah, they pretty much surprise her with the brand new AEW Women's Championship belt, which is pretty much the same belt but bigger. It's
a little bigger, and it's gold accented, unlike the silver accent, which actually I think makes it pop more. What do you say? I think this belt looks it's a massive improvement from the other one. Which the other one wasn't terrible; it was just extremely small. But I like this new title, and I like that AEW evolves and realizes, okay, there's an issue here, let's fix it. It must take forever to make new belts like
for
that.
you.
So, really cool, obviously deserving. 1 year later, here's a brand new title. Takes Tony Schiavone 18 years to put it on her.
So after this, she's awarded the belt. She pretty much is like, she gives her thanks to the crowd. Thanks for the support, because this belt is for all of you. And just as soon as she gets started with her speech,
here comes the real face of the division.
Gets interrupted by none other than Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. she pretty much says that last time when I spoke with Jim Ross, I misspoke, saying that I was the face of the women's division, and she said that I was wrong, because once I win that new belt that you're holding, I will be the face of a whole new era. And that...
You've heard of 316, but after this Sunday, you will only know DME. Which, I don't know. I don't know if this was her Austin moment. I mean, fine little segment and everything. Decent little build up. Again, it was majority of this was meant for the belt and Hikaru. But I don't know if I needed the Austin line in there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was very much needed. More, what'd you think?
Like that verbally.
Well, on the whole celebration thing, I would think to myself, Cheetah very much deserves to hold that title. Because throughout the entire year, in the year 2020, it was a whole pandemic thing, and Cheetah, she just kept that title throughout the entire year. Like even through this whole pandemic, she still manages to be a fighting women's champion. She definitely deserves to be one of the great women's champions in my own eyes. And as for the belt, I do like it, but the original one, it did look small, which really kind of had me thinking, that's a small-ass belt. Is that even fair or something? But I'm glad they kind of changed the belt to make it big. That way it's, something else. But, yeah, that's all. The segment was alright, though, overall.
So, after all that, we move on to Guevara doing his sign thing again.
Sammy in the crowd.
It's just pretty much saying he's gonna beat the shit out of Shawn Spears at Stadium Stampede. But after that, we move on to our next match of the night, which is...
This was my match of the night.
Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky taking on...
This was such a good tag.
Evil Uno and Stu Grayson of the Dark Order.
I think this was a really good tag match. I think this is the match that in my mind, this and the little incident earlier with Scorpio and Ethan, this night was what
Looking for the
really,
sunset
in
flip.
my
Scorpio's
mind.
got a very heads up
All
tag.
right, I get it now. I get what Scorpio and Ethan.
Like that verbally.
They very much showed, like... I don't mean as Scorpio shows like he might have more chemistry with Ethan than he did with both Daniels and Kazarian. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a controversial statement, but it's a statement that
I think the sense here is that like Daniels and Kazarian, they've been together forever, and then Scorpio kind of became a thing in only like the last few years. Because, they were in TNA for all. So, I think, when Scorpio entered SCU, well, yeah, he fit in, and it was working and everything. The team was always Daniels and Kaz. So, Scorpio did sort of feel like the odd one out. And then immediately after him and Kazarian lost the tag belts, he started doing his own single stuff. So, I do think him and Paige are able to mesh well together because it's two different people, and they're coming together as one. And it's not like, it's not like if Josh Alexander was there and now Scorpio's with the North.
right.
It's like, okay, now it's me, it's you, we both know each other, we can work on something that's going to make us stand out, and I don't have to be like the third man of SC. So I kind of agree with you.
So this match, basically, Dark Order come out. They're as over as you would think they were in front of a new crowd because obviously this is all still in memory of Brody Lee. So they are very much over in front of this crowd and at Double or Nothing. everybody in the Dark Order comes out. They're all standing in the middle of the ring. They're doing their pose, which I thought it was cool because all the other people in the crowd got to do it with them, and it really showed how far they've come as a team. So the match pretty much starts out. Evil Uno, Stu Grayson pretty much get, it's very much structured as your typical tag team match. The babyface tag team starts off. They get in a few cool tag team spots. I think they Uno and Grayson hit like a sidewalk slam springboard clothesline combination that looked pretty cool.
So good. There's also this really sick cutter that Grayson gets. I don't know, that Scorpio gets on Grayson that I really enjoyed. Grayson to me also was the standout.
I think Grayson's always the standout whenever him and Uno team up.
I'm happy that him and Uno are tagging again, because I know with the Dark Order they like to be like everybody tags with everyone, but like I miss watching the Super Smash Bros. And I was at this match was so PWG to me. I loved everything.
It's Grayson in him of himself. He's just a freak of nature. He's very strong and he's very athletic as well. So like, if they ever decide like they want to do like something with him singles wise, I think he'll hit it out of the ballpark. I think.
There was this crazy 450 cannonball combo that they did.
Yeah, that was near the end of the match.
That was so sick.
So basically, it's they get the upper hand for a while. Paige and Scorpio are able to cut them off after a little bit. After that, they're pretty much working over Uno, I believe, in the match. And Uno's got to fight both of them off. Scorpio, I believe, hit I don't know what it is. He hit, like, Uno's on the middle rope. Scorpio has his arms crossed and then he just chucks him off the middle rope. It looks so good. But Uno eventually is able to fight them both off. He does the spot where he takes Ethan's leg and he gives it to Bryce and he does the neck breaker. I forget who in New Japan does it. It's Evil. Evil does that fucking spot where he gives the fucking foot to the ref and then he hits him in the midsection. I like that spot a lot. He tags in Grayson. They hit like I don't know how you put it, but it's like he pushes off Ethan. So Stu hits him with the knee, and then Evil Uno pushes him off, and then he hits him with Stu hits Ethan with a belly to belly into Scorpio, and then that's where Adam brought up the 450 cannonball spot. Grayson hits the 450. Uno hits the cannonball onto Scorpio. It looked pretty goddamn cool. After that, Scorpio cuts off Evil Uno by raking him in the eyes. Grayson tried to go after him, but Scorpio gets in the heel hook. Paige hits Uno with the Ego's Edge. And Ethan Page gets the victory for him and Scorpio. And
whatever they're called.
They don't have a tag team name yet, which is really bothering me. They need a tag team name. But after that was the crazy part.
The best moment of the night. Oh my god. After that, Sting's music starts to play. Here comes Darby, and Darby's got an army of Stings, little Stingers, and the Stingers are in the ring, and Ethan and Scorpio are fighting the Stingers, where out of nowhere is a very tall, very old, very Sting-like,
Wow.
very Sting-like looking man in a Sting mask, and I think is it Ethan or is it Scorpio?
It's Scorpio.
And Scorpio's like, who is this youngster in my face? And oh my god, it's Sting in a Sting mask!
He did it.
They fucking did it! They did it! 4 companies! All 4 4 companies that Sting has been a part of have done Sting in a Sting mask. WCW keeps winning.
It's glorious. It's a great scene. He takes the mask off. They pretty much run out Scorpio and Ethan to close out the segment, and just great stuff. Really great stuff. I love the match. I love the segment.
Sting in a Sting mask. Sting mask. Oh my fucking god! I couldn't have popped more. Who is this clearly giant Sting-like man in a Sting mask? It can't happen to be Sting. Oh my heavens! It's Sting. I never knew. Great shit.
Any thoughts on this?
I have to admit, I actually kind of enjoyed the match. And the way that Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, how they do their tag team moves, I want to say, it was sick just seeing how Grayson and Uno just work as a tag team. Because when they do those moves, woo, they're just... I can't even think of a word to describe it because it's so damn good. All in all, I enjoyed the match. I definitely did enjoy the stingers that were out there, and it was definitely the moment of the night. All those stingers, but all of a sudden the real Sting shows up and attacks Scorpio. That was really a cool ass moment for the night for me, and Adam as well.
I agree.
He got a Sting mask.
Oh my god.
Ricochet in pants.
Okay. So, after this, we run down the card for Double or Nothing. I'm not running it down again because we already
about it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we already did it like 2 episodes ago. So, but after that, it's the Inner Circle celebration. I
hosted by Eric Bischoff.
I missed most of this. I only saw the end portion of it, so I will let you take control of this one.
Santana goes. So they all come out. Crowd, of course, fired up as hell, singing Judas, which of course works. Judas is whatever, but yeah, it works. It does work. Crowd's happy as hell. Everybody's in the ring. Santana gets on the mic first. They start talking about the past 18 months, the debut, where they're at, how everybody has come together. They're a family now. If it's going to be their last dance, they're going to go out swinging. And as long as they know, no matter what happens, we're all brothers. Jake Hager actually with like a good promo. What? I mean, he didn't say much, but he actually sounded smart for once, talking about, having hard times and Jericho and the Inner Circle helping him find his way, and now he's, he realizes, who he is and the moments to be celebrated. No matter what, the Inner Circle lives on. And then Jericho gets on the mic talking about how the Inner Circle feel like the 1987 Guns N' Roses, and of course he says that. They're going to put on the best performance night after night after night, and the Inner Circle have been, if not the greatest thing to happen to AEW, and then if that Stadium Stampede, if they lose, they're going out in a blaze of glory, because if it is their last time together, I just want them to know one thing, and that is that he loves them. Sammy doesn't really get to say much here, and neither does Ortiz. Bischoff also had his little thing talking about Jackadia, he's Bischoff. Jericho does make up with Bischoff, telling him that after all the years of hating him, that now he thinks he's pretty cool, even though Bischoff fired him over the telephone. But then, we go to the big screen, we go to the big Titantron, and there's Wardlow, and there's MJF, and oh no, there's Dean Malenko!
Oh no!
Not Dean Malenko, not poor Dean Malenko, who only a week ago we've really had any acknowledgement that him and Chris Jericho are
wow.
And oh no, they're beat up Dean Malenko. So the Inner Circle ditch the ring and they run over to the stadium where, of course, the Pinnacle are waiting. And it's a cool little brawl in there, but holy shit, is this ending insane. Everybody's taking a pile driver, but especially Santana and Ortiz, who FTR jump off of, like, this little, like, I guess, like, deck for, like, where the dugout, I think, might be. And they right through two tables. Now, Ortiz and Cash, they're fine, but damn, Dax and Santana, the table does not break, and I thought one of them was going to be hurt. Thank God they weren't, but sick way to end the show on like this evil high note of like, boo the Pinnacle, fuck you guys, and just the Inner Circle dead on the floor as the Pinnacle flipped the bird, send us off.
Wow.
Yep. So I
did all that. I did all that on my own.
I like the end. Like I said, I saw the ending of it, so I like the ending. I like the Pinnacle standing tall in the end, even though some could argue that it kind of, I don't know if spoil is the right word, but it kind of made it a bit more obvious on where the ending of the night was going to go. But yeah, no, I liked it. I liked the end. I didn't see the promo. Like I said, I kind of missed it. But Pinnacle looks good. MJF looks good. Not much I can complain about.
Well, me, I actually enjoyed that as well. Like, it's actually good seeing Eric Bischoff again, you know, after all he's been through. It's good to see him. And plus the whole Inner Circle, the package, you know, how the Inner Circle came together, you know, throughout the whole year. It's like, I actually like that little package. It really solidifies how well the Inner Circle has been since AEW started. That I enjoyed. And the whole beatdown that the Pinnacle did, I enjoyed it. The pile drivers at the end. Never thought I'd actually see a wrestling company have an ending where a faction can just do simultaneous pile drivers at the same time. But hey, the Pinnacle did just that. Overall, I enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing how the Pinnacle and Inner Circle are gonna duke out at Stadium Stampede 2.
Well, we'll find out in 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, we gotta get to the our news segment. Oh, but yeah, all in all, I thought this was a pretty good episode of Dynamite.
This was a good episode. I think a very good go-home show as well. Everything, I feel like every match going into the pay-per-view was touched on, at least in some form or another. Of course, the crowd being back was bliss. This was a return to form, not just for AEW, but for wrestling in general. We're back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But
back in business. But that's Dynamite. Anybody else have anything to say?
No.
Nah, nothing's coming to mind.
Well, then I guess we're moving on to the news.
News segment, baby. We had a bit of news come out this week.
I said last episode. I said, I really hope next week we're just gonna have, including one which we can break. I guess we're not breaking it, but at least we'll be talking about it before others do sooner or later. People will be talking about it already. But New Japan Pro Wrestling just announced yet another cancellation to a house show.
Yep. Hold on, let me get it up real quick. They announced the Road to Dominion event scheduled for Otaku on June 4th has been canceled. The road
which only leaves the 1st and 2nd of June road twos, and of course next Monday's Dominion show, which, as we know, will be main evented by Okada and Shingo Takagi for the IWGP World Heavyweight title.
Well,
also
thank you for stealing my spotlight, god damn it.
I'm allowed to do things too here.
I have these notes for a reason to go down to, and you're messing up the process.
Well, we're talking about New Japan. I guess we just keep it in the fucking family.
Oh.
Anyway, so so that's gonna happen. I honestly don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
What?
New Japan has soured on me so much, and now that all this talk about the wrestlers even being like, I don't know if I want to stay here, and all the COVID stuff I'm hearing, like, New Japan is getting... The wrestlers, I love the wrestlers, but the company itself is starting to get a bad taste in my mouth with how they're handling all this COVID shit.
Look.
You've had 4 shows canceled already. Just cancel them. You're really going to risk all these people. Some of these people that are on that roster, like Jay White and Finn Juice, they don't live there. No. They're not going to be able to leave if they get quarantined. You know how bad that can be for them? Where are they going to stay? Like, New Japan really needs to start getting its shit together and start giving a crap about the people that are working for them and not about their budget. Yeah, and honestly, the way they could have fixed this was by having the G1 be for the title and giving all these people a few months break.
Yeah, but you gotta risk it to get the biscuit out of them.
No, that's not.
You have to risk it to get the biscuit.
No, we are not risking people's lives.
Are you going to spin the wheel and make a deal, or no? What are we doing here?
Oh, we try to have.
Are we wheeling it or dealing it?
Are you kidding me? Okay, we're trying to have a real discussion right now, and we're all gonna try and play funny games here. This is not right. It's not like in the U.S. right now, where we know shit is okay, and again, in most states. Japan is breaking out. It seems like they get cool, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, we're back up. And it's because the distribution of the vaccine over there just isn't as rampant because there's too many people.
Yep. No, I agree.
So you're, you gotta face facts and just, I don't know what they're doing.
They're doing what they can. As long as, I already said it to you last episode, as long as Japan in and of itself says, yeah, you can run this, they're gonna run it. And that's just
the situation now with the wrestlers being like, we don't want to do it. Look,
I get it. I understand. And it's a crappy situation for everyone involved. But, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
On top of the fact that Ibushi's hurt, on top of the fact that Ospreay is hurt, on top of the fact that Okada is hurt, but he's in our main event.
I think Okada's alright now.
Right now, yeah, but now that he's going to be champion again, because, I like Shingo, but they're going to take the safe way out.
Maybe they put the title on Shingo because they don't know what Okada's situation is.
They don't know what they're doing. Go ahead, more. I'll stop ranting.
If they're aiming for Okada to win the world title, then, well, here we go again. And if they're aiming for Shingo, then it's like, okay, we're pushing another, a new guy to be a world champ. I kind of sense that I want Shingo to win, but, I sense Okada winning as well, so it's 50-50 for me. You go on ahead.
I honestly think Okada's winning the belt again. I don't know. I feel like they just, at this point, with everything that's happened, they probably just want some normalcy going on. But along with Okada and Shingo, we also have Bushi taking on Jeff Cobb in singles competition. Yo from Roppongi 3K will be taking on El Desperado from Suzuki-gun for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. The Gorillas of Destiny are they the champs? I can't believe I have to ask this, but are they the champs right now?
Don't ask me.
Yeah, I believe they are currently the champs.
They are. Gorillas of Destiny defending their titles against Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. for the belts, and also the never openweight 6-man tag team titles on the line as Ishii, Goto, and Yoshihashi defend against Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, and Bushi. And, I was going to save this for last, but since we're already talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, because Adam wanted to go ahead and spearhead this whole conversation, yes, we got to bring up the fucking New Japan WWE engagement. So, it was reported by one Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer that one Nick Khan had been getting into has been in conversation.
Well, it's not just him. It seems that apparently D-Bry also has something to do with this as well.
Well, it was mainly, I think, I read the engagement was mainly so that, like, it was made specifically for D-Bry because I think D-Bry wanted to work Japan. I think he's made that known pretty well.
Now, with everything that has apparently the report stated, or that Meltzer was that they've been in talks since late March, early April, and then all the TonyCon stuff that happened afterwards. I don't know. I'm very interested, and like, honestly, I know you hate it, and I know you're gonna hate what I'm about to say, but it's a win-win.
Explain.
Well, for one, they can take all of their younger talent, throw them down the NXT type deal, do the excursion like ROH did. The only difference from ROH and NXT is you'll have way more exposure in NXT because of a weekly taping, and once they start going back on the Florida Circuit Road, you'll be able to expose yourself more. That way, ROH didn't have that. Clearly, they didn't have the broadness that WWE has when it comes towards that. So that's a plus right there for New Japan, having their young talent have that ability to send somebody down there for 6 months in NXT and then hand over, and then Triple H can easily be like what we've done with Kushida and Io and Asuka and Nakamura, and making these people stars. As much as you want to say where they are placed on cards, they are stars in Japan for what they've been able to do, in the sense of having these big dream matches. There's plenty of WWE talent who would love to go back to Japan and have some really bangers. Just imagine them sending AJ or Finn over there just for that Bullet Club pop. Cesaro, come on, that'd be insane. And then, obviously there's a possibility of the John Cena Tanahashi match that everybody wanted. Now for WWE, obviously the business is booming there. You can get the video catalog possibly put on your network, well, the Peacock, I guess. But also that footage, which is something that would be beautiful for people like Finn Balor and AJ and Nakamura. The dream match possibilities, I think it really is. It's a win-win for both sides. WWE has such a huge presence in Japan. This is literally taking the two biggest wrestling companies in the world and not merging, but that connection is by far an unstoppable force. So that's my stance.
Adam, this is basically the UK circuit all over again.
They're not going to make an NXT Japan. They're just going to...
They try to!
Yeah, and obviously that failed, so this clearly seems to be the backup, where we're going to have, instead of having our own Japan brand, we'll just be able to integrate through another company. But that company will be able to integrate with us.
But you see how well that worked out for the UK scene.
Yeah, but but for the UK, they're not like Progress and ICW are not New Japan. You are taking the biggest companies in wrestling, the two biggest companies in wrestling, and having that connection. That's a huge merger.
Okay, forgetting the whole personal, stylistic differences aside, considering the fact that WWE fans don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling fans, for the most part, are very indifferent to WWE. Though. Most WWE fans do not watch New Japan. You cannot tell me that's not true.
Okay, on the US side of things, sure. Japan side, I'm not going to fight that one because it's not true. But the integration and being able to show footage, being able to post matches on their YouTube, which clearly the YouTube seems to be a great place for people to just discover things. I mean, for Christ's sake, Kali has 8 million views. You're going to be able to expose that ability. And while, yes, the common WWE fan does not know New Japan, the hardcore ones do, and this is an easier way to get those people over. NXT seems to be a great place for stuff like that. How many people who did not know Kushida now know Kushida, and I bet you have gone back and watched Kushida matches. This is a way that you can expose it. It didn't work for the UK because the UK scene was a fucking niche. New Japan ain't a niche.
But
Wrestling could be a niche, but not New Japan.
It's the exclusivity. That's what they want, though. They want to sign them to an exclusive contract so that nobody else can work with them. That's the problem.
Right, but if I'm
nobody, if you take that away, you take away New Japan's right to, if this doesn't work out, to back out. They can't do that if they have this exclusive deal with the WWE. They can't work with anybody else. They're stuck. So if this thing sucks, they gotta deal with it.
But if I'm New Japan, this is the WWE that I'm working.
The reason why this whole thing with AEW and ROH works in Impact.
Listen, New Japan and CMLL just ditched each other.
But you see my point there. They did that because they could. They had that choice. They will not have that choice if they do this thing with the WWE. They lose all.
That is maybe an inkling that this could be true.
No.
That they're already wrapping up their partnerships with other companies.
Absolutely not. New Japan breaking up with other companies is nothing new. All right.
Listen. I agree. From the bottoms of my cockles, I will agree. I don't want this to happen. I have to play devil's advocate here.
I don't think this is a win-win. I think this is a very much a win for WWE because they'll get what they want again. New Japan is very much one of the biggest wrestling companies in the world, and I think that's because that they keep themselves so open, is because they can end relationships like their one with CMLL and Impact and Pro Wrestling Noah. But the fact is that even if they close it now, who's to say 5-6 years down the line, just like how they're doing with Impact now, that they could go back. They may want to strike another deal. They won't be able to do that if they sign an exclusive deal with the WWE. All of that goes out the window.
But you're getting such a bigger market. You're getting such bigger profit.
There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee to say that actually works.
You're going to tell me there's no guarantee that if goes back to New Japan, if AJ Styles popped up back, if Nakamura popped up
I'm sure that if they went back, that they might do a higher rating for a bit. But eventually, it's WWE's process that this stuff doesn't last long. But that won't matter because it's they're stuck now. This is your deal. You sign an exclusive contract. You can't back out with us now.
The difference is this isn't in an NXT Triple H wants to make a brand. This is the WWE itself. This is Vince and Khan wanting this deal. So it's not like they're going to territorialize this whole thing. It feels like it's a fair trade. Granted, the W wants to get the bigger deal out of it, but I think New Japan can succeed through it. Again, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I don't think they can succeed from this. I think it's very much WWE gets what they want, and then New Japan is going to get the shorter end of the stick sooner or later.
Well, more, you're our guest.
Well, hearing about if the partnership with WWE and New Japan could work, I mean, at one point I could see it could happen, but at the same time I feel like it's not gonna go well, because how WWE's doing so good, it's they're not really. Plus, if they actually do it, I kind of feel like they might do the same old like how they usually do. Change shit at the last possible minute with certain matches. Really, I just feel like it might happen, but I feel like it's just going to be the same outcome how WWE does it. Changing some shit, in the last minute of a certain match, or certain original plans that were, taken down, or, they got canceled. It's 50-50 again for me. 50-50.
Alright, well, moving on to that, we got just a quick few wrestling news, from both WWE and elsewhere. Tom Phillips and the homie Tom Phillips was released. So we got to pour one out. So yeah, Tom Phillips, the homie, was released this week.
Yeah. WWE's thought process. Let's go through this real quick. Since WrestleMania, everybody, follow me here, alright? It's very simple and it's very dumb. Byron Saxton, Tom Phillips, Samoa Joe. Okay. Alright, we're gonna fire Samoa Joe. Alright, Samoa Joe's not in the picture. We're gonna hire Adnan Virk. Okay, who the fuck's this guy? Some baseball announcer. Right, whatever. We're gonna get rid of Tom Phillips and instead Corey Graves. Alright, what are we doing with Tom Phillips? No, I don't know. Alright, cool. We got a month's worth of this. Alright, Adnan Virk, he sucks. Alright, we're gonna fire him. Okay, well, what about Tom? Fire him too while we're at it. Why? Because. So who do we got? How about this Jimmy Smith guy? Well, what does he do? He's from the UFC. Has he done commentary? He's an analysis. Does he know how to do commentary? We'll teach him. Okay, we'll hire him. Did I miss anything?
No, that's it. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Does any of that in 2 months sound... What the... What?
I want to have a genuine say when it comes to those having Tom Phillips be released for no reason. When I keep hearing about those releases of certain stars, like Black Wednesday of last year, then this year another series of releases, they fucking dropped the ball with them. They dropped the ball with these certain amount of stars. I mean, but show, keep them for commentary. I mean, sure, medical reasons he still can't compete, but once he's all good and ready, have him back out. And as for the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, what was the point of splitting them up if you're just gonna have them, be on teams again? Like, what was the point? Like, I get pushing Peyton Royce to be a star, but that went freaking nowhere. It literally went nowhere. Instead and then that promo that she put up, that just went to shit for someone who just decided, we're just gonna make her job out again. And then, and as soon as WrestleMania just says, like, okay, so are we gonna have these series of releases? Yes, let's just release these certain superstars because we have no plans for them. How about the Iconics? We have no plans for them. No plans for them? Okay, sure, let's release them. Overall, they just dropped the fucking...
What's funny about what Moore said about the Iconics is Casey revealing this week that her promo had nothing to do with her getting the match. Somebody was sick. Somebody was sick, and they said, alright, throw her out there.
They just dropped the ball. And now with Tom Phillips gone, why does Tom need to be released? Is there a clear reason why Mr. Phillips gets released? I mean, there better be a goddamn explanation on why Tom was released. If there's no release, then what's the point of releasing it if you have nothing to say? Oh my gosh, I'm really gonna get heated.
I'm really surprised, because it felt like Tom was gonna be the next Michael Cole. It felt like they were grooming him for that position for the longest time. And, like, when he got moved off of commentary, I was like, alright, maybe they're gonna do something else with Tom. And no, he just gets fired. What? Like, why did... Byron, people.
Look, I don't know what you want me to say here. Like, none of this makes any fucking sense. Like, absolutely none of it makes any sense whatsoever. But that's kind of what you expect from the Fed at this point. We're talking about a man that is so... It's like his OCD in and of itself is so bad for like everyone else business-wise, that it's quite astounding that he still has the position that he's in. But lo and behold, here we are. It doesn't make sense. I don't ever expect it to make sense. It kind of is what it is.
We, tonight, well not tonight, but this past episode of Raw was Jimmy Smith's first episode doing commentary. I don't know how he did. I'll listen to some of it later. I'd just like to make it clear, though, this is a man who probably, I don't know if how much training he had, was literally hired Friday to be the new analyst, and he's already on Raw 3 days later. I bet he hadn't had a lot of time to practice. Why are we throwing this man out there wolves? They're just gonna eat him alive like they did Verk.
Well, if I want to have a state, Adam Verk, when he showed up, it's like, he wasn't really doing it for everyone. Like, it's like he tried his best, but it wasn't really the best that he tried. It wasn't good. Like, it wasn't really good for the last few weeks of him being on commentary. Like, I think he tried his best, but it just wasn't enough to sell well with the commentary team. With Jimmy, I mean, I'm just gonna see how this one goes. I'm just gonna see how this one goes with Jimmy.
Well, we're gonna get away from that. We're gonna go on to some Impact news, and then I'm gonna mention one thing from NWA, and then we'll get on to our Double or Nothing review. So on Impact, Kojima made his debut. He had a little run-in with the Violent by Design, and apparently during all that, it was confirmed that Kojima will have his debut match in Impact. Well, he'll have his Impact debut match against Cody Deaner on the next Impact Wrestling on Thursday, but he will be fighting up against Joe Doring at Against All Odds, I believe.
And now this is a rematch from All Japan. I've never seen it, so
I think it was back mid 2000s. They had a match, or it might have been late 2000s that they had a match.
I'm just finally happy that I'm gonna get to see what this Joe Doring is all about. So
his stuff in All Japan is really good, so I'm very excited for this.
Because, his run in Impact hasn't been awful. He's the tag team guy. So, and I've always heard about, it's this crazy Joe Doring, All Japan's Joe Doring, best gaijin in Japan, and all this jazz. So, I'm excited to see him finally going up against somebody that's on the same level with Kojima. So, I finally can see what this Joe Doring is all about. Got a sick lariat. Ugly looking dude.
You want to say something more?
I might not get a chance to see it, but I feel like I might see the highlights of Against All Odds, probably somewhere around on the YouTube, because I actually can't wait to see what Joe Doring can do against someone like Satoshi Kojima. I guess I'm saying his full name. I'm not saying Kojima, because we're not pulling a WWE and just shortening names like that.
Lariat!
Yeah, just gonna look forward to see how that one goes, because I feel like it might be a clash of styles, because Joe Doring, he's a big, tall dude who could probably throw in some power shots. And then you got Kojima, he's got some shots, he's got some technical, probably some stiff shots as well. So this should be a stiff match to see come Against All Odds.
Yeah,
I agree. Punk, I'm fucking with you.
Dude. And also on Impact, Rosemary beat Deonna Purrazzo on the last episode of Impact, pinned the champion. So therefore, she's now in front of the line. She will face off against Purrazzo at Against All Odds for the Impact with Knockouts Women's Championship.
I'm actually gonna hump.
I'm very excited because it seems like Rosemary has been left in the dust ever since I forget her original name. Frankie left.
Taya.
Taya Valkyrie left. So, thankfully, she's like back in the fold. She's getting in a knockout championship match on this show. So yeah, excited for that. Moving away from Impact, one last piece of news. The NWA World Championship match has been announced for their next upcoming pay-per-view. It will be Trevor Murdoch taking on Nick Aldis for the NWA World title.
Oh my! I can't wait to pay $30. Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah, I don't understand.
World title. What? Oh man, NWA. Oh shit.
I don't get this. I understand. Like Trevor Murdoch is very much.
They have no one.
It's very much as a person. Like he's an NWA guy through and through. Like he's
right. But I don't want to watch on my pay-per-view Trevor Murdoch and Nick Aldis go 20 fucking minutes for the NWA World title.
With interferences. Don't forget the interferences.
Sure, that's fine. Trevor Murdoch. I'm sorry, NWA has been having some problems lately.
Yeah.
One, the whole Camille, which by the way, if you want to know, if you haven't heard, remember the whole Camille thing with Thunder Rosa and the loser? Like, whoever loses, if Thunder Rosa loses, she has to stay here. That match ended in a DQ, by the way.
Huh.
Really?
So she could go wherever the fuck she wants again still. That's why she was on Dark this past Monday. So, yeah, that happened. Also, Christopher Masters, or whatever his name is now, Chris Adonis, he won the national title, 2 weeks ago. But then there was this battle royal, the one that Trevor Murdoch won. Guess what he did? He said, here, take my national title. He relinquished it so he could have a shot in the battle royal, which he lost.
What? What kind of why would you do that? Why would he?
The reason he did that is because he's part of Strictly Business, and he thought, well, if I win, then we all win. Instead, he lost. They all lost.
Bruh! Why you're a champion? You don't have to just, hello, here's my championship belt. I could just, take it. I'll let go. I guess I just lost. Oh wait, I don't have my belt with me? Ah, shucks. Oh, I'll just think of something about it in the near future.
Adam, I think you guys are being too hard on poor Trevor Murdoch.
In cooler news, because fuck Trevor Murdoch, fuck that shit. Next episode, we'll put this in the little news segment. We'll be having a special additional review here on the Four Post Massacre podcast, as I will be attending this year's Tournament of Survival. So I will have live from then reactions to what happened at that show. I will be there front and center, so if you're watching, try and catch me on Fight TV. I'll be wearing the Joey Janela face mask and the Britt Baker Bloody Face t-shirt.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna try
some deathmatch wrestling on this show.
I'm gonna try to watch the show too, so you can get the point of view of someone who doesn't like death matches.
Terrible opinion. But also, I will be attending a few more shows, so expect a few more of these random live reactions. But that's it for the news.
It is time.
I can't.
No, it is time! No, shut up! It's time! It's time. For AEW Double or Nothing review. We're gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible because I have a very interesting mystery box segment. But, before we start through, let's just go around. Adam, how did you enjoy this pay-per-view?
Fucking amazing. 10 out of 10. Would fuck again.
More?
I definitely enjoyed the event. The live crowd, everything. I just loved it overall.
Everybody on this show came to fucking play, and everyone was on their A game. There was not one match on this show that was bad. Maybe an outcome or two that wasn't the greatest, but not one bad match on this show. No fuck-ups, no botches, no farty pyro that ruins your exploding death match. Every match hit every fucking spot. Every wall to wall to wall to wall to wall. I couldn't ask for a better top to bottom wrestling pay-per-view. This was a 4-hour show. I did not feel a single hour of it.
I absolutely agree. I love the show. Pretty much it's going to be very hard to top this for show of the year. And if it does, it's probably going to be by another AEW show at this point, because they are just running on all cylinders at this point. And it showed.
And now with the crowd back, AEW is back in fucking motion, back in gear.
Absolutely.
And the one thing before we get into the reviews that I choked up a few moments, mainly for every single time somebody came out and just sucked in that crowd for like the first time. Yeah. Every single wrestler, the bad guys, the good guys, the ones that had to keep straight faced and all that. Everyone, when they showed up, was themselves for a quick second, because they were like, yes.
So, let's not waste any more time. Let's get down to it. We start off with our first match of the night. It is Hangman Adam Page against... What? Oh, yeah, that's right. Buy-in. We gotta do the buy-in. I almost forgot, and I feel bad about it, because the buy-in was actually...
The match was really
fucking good. We have the buy-in, which was the NWA Women's World Championship.
That's another thing, by the way. Since NWA has been back, the Women's Champion, Serena Deeb, has been on the show. Let's ask more. How many times do you think Serena Deeb has been on NWA TV since they've been back for 2 months?
I want to say barely.
Oh, okay. So how many times do you want to say?
I'm going to guess, it's probably less than double digits. I'm probably going to say, 5 times.
It's 0 times!
Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Serena Deeb has not been on NWA TV once since they've come back 2 months ago.
Yeah, and that's their women's champ.
Yes, the feud right now is between Thunder Rosa and Camille over who will be the number 1 contender for the women's title. But anyway, enough of NWA fucking and shit in the bed. Let's talk about how Serena Deeb does this fucking title proud, because this match was sick.
It was really...
the near falls, I thought a few times Riho was taking this belt.
So this one obviously stemming from the fact that last year these two had a match in the AEW Women's Championship Eliminator Tournament. Serena Deeb was eliminated in the first round by Riho. Therefore, Riho is getting her shot at the NWA Women's Championship back here at the buy-in at Double or Nothing. And in more news, a bit of congratulations for Riho, who recently made her move to the States permanently, it seems.
I thought she was going back. Oh, she's not going back then. That's cool.
I think she's going back. I think she's here to stay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Well, hey, that just helps the women's division. If I get more Serena Deeb and Riho matches, I'm not going to complain.
But, yeah. This was a masterful match. It started off with this was both of these women taking in the crowd. This crowd was loud.
This crowd was hotter than the crowd on Dynamite, and I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that I think there were way more outside, Florida people for the show. I don't think a lot of people went to the Dynamite, but everybody was coming for Double or Nothing. Full, packed, to the brim crowd. Just ecstatic for every single thing that happened. Not one point was that crowd quiet. And for a 4-hour show, that's extremely impressive to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Dueling chants for both of these girls. Also, one of my favorite things about the show in general is the natural lighting as the sun comes up. A big fan of it.
So, this one basically starts off, both women are pretty much baby faces going into it. So, of course, someone had to play, the not liked person in this match.
Sarita killed it, though.
Oh, yeah, she did. She was great. She was freaking great.
Just working the knee on Little Rio.
So, basically, they start off, as you would, just getting the feeling out process, chain wrestling, both trying to go for their finishes early, finding out they're evenly matched. Rio tries to go for a handshake, Serena Deeb slaps her in the face, so that way you know that she was pretty much the heel.
A bad guy.
She was the heel going into this one. And after that, it's just basically Serena Deeb picking apart Riho for a good majority of this match. She hits her with, I love her uppercuts. I just wanted to say that right now. Her uppercuts rule. I think she might have the best uppercuts in wrestling that aren't Cesaro's. She really digs into them. She pretty much works on Rhea. She works on her leg. She gets her with a lot of dragon screw leg whips. Of all different varieties. She hits an inverted dragon screw leg whip at one point that looked pretty damn nasty.
She hits a double leg dragon screw. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that was...
She both legs dragon screwed at the same time? How did you do that?
That was really the first time that a double dragon leg screw happened. That was the first.
There's a beautiful sunset flip into a single leg Boston that Serena does, not single leg, into a Serenity lock early on that I really thought was really pretty.
Her transitions
are amazing.
That she can do are very fucking good. Riho would get into this match though. She hit she was pretty much to play the speed game. He had scissors on Deeb. She goes for a 619 on Serena at one point.
Tiger feint kick.
619. Booyaka. That's my Pueblo.
Booyaka.
That's my Pueblo, Adam.
Yeah, Riho has two working eyeballs.
There was at one point where Riho tried to go for a double foot stomp on the apron and just missed completely, and I thought she shattered her ankle. I thought she shattered her ankle, because that looked gross.
But she is able to come back later on with a sick killer double foot stomp off the top rope on the Deep, which looked like that.
Pretty much from that point on, these two are just going at it. Rio hits a 6-snap dragon suplex on Serena Deeb at one point. Like Adam said, Rio tries to go for her running knees, the Meteora, but Serena just pretty much ducks out of it, rolls through into a single leg Boston Crab. I thought that looked pretty fucking nice as well.
Yes.
There's
great selling by Riho as well. At that point with that single leg Boston, I thought, are we about to get a Lance Storm finish? But Riho just crawling to the rope, getting pulled back. Great transitions again by Riho. Just what a kid! I don't know if this is the first. I had to think. No, this isn't the first time because they fought once in the
Eliminator tournament.
But compared to that match and this match is apples to oranges. This match was amazing.
So the ending of this...
for a buy-in, too.
I think, this is pretty much the best buy-in match they've ever done. The finish of the match comes where Riho tries to go for a European clutch onto Serena. She then tries to hit her with a tilt-a-whirl. Try to go for a tilt-a-whirl crucifix. Serena puts her down on the canvas. Gets her into the fucking Serenity Lock, smashes her fucking knee into the canvas 1,000 times, and just pulls back on that motherfucker. Riho had no choice. She had to tap out. Serena Deeb retains her title in a fucking spectacular match.
Or you can go first. If you saw it.
Match was... I really gotta admit, the way that Serena just smashes that knee into the canvas with Rio. It just, it hurt. It might hurt like a bitch. But I actually enjoyed it because I thought at times Rio would get the victory, but no. So many close calls in that matchup.
A lot of close calls.
And I think eventually we might see a heel Serena, since she, slapped the hand away from the handshake.
I think a Serena Deeb heel run would be really good.
I do too.
Especially now with the fact that, we'll talk about it when it happens, but at this point, Britt's a babyface.
Yeah.
So, I think having the other women's champion, because at this point, the NWA women's title is just a secondary women's title for AEW at this point. I think having Serena be the bad guy would be good. There's a lot of good young babyface women on the AEW roster that can get a good rub with her. I would love to see Serena and Swole. But great buy-in match for buy-in. Wow. I was expecting a lot, but wow, I got even more than I expected.
So
great way to start the show.
So after that, they basically for the buy-in they played all the video packages for all the matches later today. So if you've seen those, go watch the AEW countdown if you want to watch all of them.
I recommend if I'm going to do a quick recommendation, the tag team title match and the women's title match. I think were the two standouts. Especially the women's title match video package, I thought was an amazing video package.
So
let's go on to the show.
Let's go on.
It's time for, if I can, because JR with the best light of the night, we start off with the match. It's Cage and Page in a rage.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna dwell on this fucking show thinking about all the stupid shit JR said. Not doing it.
I didn't really pay attention, but that one got me good. That one got me good.
I mean, guy's a legend for a reason.
But a hot start between Page and Cage. Adam Page shows up, and this crowd blows the roof off already.
Oh my god, the reaction he got was ridiculous.
Just.
They love them some Hangman. I love me some Hangman. His lower third, very funny, stating that his horse had a hangover, which is a callback to a Terry Funk situation in '93 in the WWF, where he actually had a horse that was hungover. So that was a funny little thing.
So
this match, great shit.
Hangman pretty much comes out. If there was a roof in that place, it would have gone blown off to hell. The crowd goes absolute ape shit for him. They chant cowboy shit for him. The return of cowboy shit was great.
Yeah, oh my god, it was like, yeah!
But the match pretty much starts off. I think Cage blindsides him before, he can get anything going. The story of this match is basically, like, Cage pretty much has Hangman's number. He's got the strength advantage, he's got the power advantage, he's freakishly strong. And Page is gonna
sick suicide dive on the outside. Page catches into a powerbomb into the ring post. That was at that point. It was like, all right, this match is gonna be this.
Yep. So it was mainly just Cage pretty much showing off. That was the thing with this match. It was pretty much Cage showing off, which was pretty much played up a lot in the match. Whereas like Cage multiple times could have had the match won, but either he would be too busy showing off or he didn't hook the leg, which I thought was a pretty cool point to make during the match.
A really cool spot. Page once again not giving a shit about his well-being and not looking when he hits a moonsault. On Brian Cage on the outside, that was really sick.
He always hits that thing crazy. He
never looks.
He never looks. He just has complete trust in his opponent.
I believe in whoever my opponent is, and I'm going for it.
Thankfully, his opponent is literally one of the strongest dudes in wrestling. So,
and also, huge and looks like a brick shithouse.
Yeah.
Again, also on another really good spot in this match, Brian Cage up on the Brian Cage puts, I think it's Page on top of the turnbuckle. No, I'm getting this wrong. Page puts Cage on the turnbuckle, looks to hit a Hurricane Rana. Brian Cage looks to get a power bomb on him. Page says, "Nah, fuck that shit." Hits a beautiful Hurricane Rana on Brian Cage. Really cool sequence there.
Yeah, hit that. Another cool thing, Page, I think it was Cage who tried to go for an F5 on the top.
Yeah. And, oh my god, yes.
I don't know if he didn't hit that, did he?
So what happened? He was going for an F5.
Yeah.
And then Page says, "Fuck that shit. I'm gonna hit the F5." Instead.
Yeah, he hit the F5 instead. Crowd goes.
Brian Cage does hit a top rope F5 later on in this match. This is a little bit after the apron suplex to the ramp.
Oh my god, that was gross.
And I'm sorry, this top rope F5 was grosser. I have never seen Brock Lesnar eat your heart out.
So there was before that, Cage hits the F5 on Page hits the F5 on Cage, then sets him up for the buckshot lariat. Misses. Cage hits a German suplex of death right on top of Adam's head, picks him up, buckle bomb, puts him up. Looks like he's gonna set him up for a spiral bomb. Page goes for the jackknife pin, gets a close 2 count, and then gets his head taken off completely with a discus lariat of death. And then Cage hits a spiral bomb for a close 2. That was probably the best sequence of that entire match.
I wrote down in my notes at that point, too much to write down. Because they were just like going like bang, bing, 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 bing. I'm like, Brian Cage is a freaking freak that he's going this fast with Hangman. And Hangman really laying in some shots too. I mean, the story clearly was Brian Cage having Page's number, but the other story was Page could be just as much of a beast if he needs to be. And he showed it in this one. Mm-hmm. Also, there was a really cool one-arm neck breaker that Brian Cage did, which I've never
The Axle!
Oh, that was different than the Axle.
Well, somebody used to do that.
No, I mean, yes, you're right. Curtis Axel did do the Axle. It was almost the same thing, but Brian Cage did it in like a different, different
yeah.
It was like, whoa.
I know someone in WWE had that move, though. It wasn't Curtis Axel, but someone else did that. They used that as a finisher. I just can't remember who the fuck it was. But,
probably some Eli Cottonwood or whatever.
So,
Jacob Novak. Anyway.
Finish of the match comes. Ricky Starks and Hook come out.
Hook, what a shirt!
Pretty much come out. Cage is like, what the fuck are you assholes doing out here? I have this thing won. I have this thing won. Like, it's mine for the taking. And then it's all like, so Cage sends Hangman, off of the ropes, after reversing, I believe, Page was going for the Deadeye, sends him to the apron. And then he goes after Hook and telling him to leave, get out of here. Meanwhile, Page lining him up, sets him up, buckshot lariat of death for the 3 count, and Team Taz costs Brian Cage this matchup.
Afterwards, Cage does have a few words with Ricky and Hook, and then walks off. Dissension within Team Taz.
So it's pretty much obvious at this point that, like, Cage is bound to leave Team Taz at any moment.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm interested to see, is Hobbs going to just take the spot, or are we getting a new member of Team Taz?
That's interesting. I have no idea. I would not be opposed to Hobbs just taking that spot, because he's a younger dude, and he's obviously very good. But, I might get a new member. You never know. I would think so, considering that I think Ricky is still out of action.
Well, there's Samoan that'll be free. Just saying. But anyway...
What'd you think of this?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm jumping in.
I'd say the match overall was really... It's a fantastic way to open Double or Nothing. Back and forth, near falls after that. I actually kind of like the fact that Hangman went for it, just nailed the F5 on Brian Cage, because, Brian was going to go for the buckshot lariat, and Hangman decided, you trying to use my move? I'm going to use your move. I actually like that spot, because that was the spot of the night for me, seeing, one man tries to do another man's finisher, but that gets turned around quickly. Overall, I enjoyed it.
So, after that, move on. Tag team title contest. It is Eddie, hold on.
I know, I'm jumping ahead.
Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley taking on the Young Bucks for the AEW tag team titles. Now,
this and the world title, naked, but also the women's title. Oh man, all neck and neck for match of the night.
So, before the match, I just wanted to say, when they pretty much said, pretty much confirmed, Moxley was using Wild Thing as the entrance, I was very much on the fence, because I was like, I don't know, this, I like the song in and of itself, but does it really fit, what John is trying to go for here? I just wasn't really convinced. All my doubts went out the fucking window when their goddamn entrance happened.
I had a group of people, and I was like, everybody quiet for a second, because I wanted to hear one thing. I wanted to know if the crowd was going to do the Wild Thing. Are they gonna get this? Fuck, was I wrong if they didn't get it right? Because holy shit, they bust through the door, Wild Thing! The crowd goes crazy, and Kingston's fucking swirling the Dior's in the air, and the crowd's going crazy, and John almost runs over a child.
Oh my!
The crowd was
as loud as Hangman. This was even louder.
I don't know.
These guys, this was one of my moments of the night. Was just the entrance alone for Mox and Kingston and the crowd and everybody singing and going crazy. And I was like, wow, yep, Tony Khan, well worth the money.
It's just this might be literally my favorite entrance since Punk's homecoming entrance back at Money in the Bank. It's just he comes out and is it's the entrance in itself is a moment, and it's really saying, because this match that we're talking about, it's fucking, the match is spectacular, amazing.
Yeah,
but
fantastic match.
When you have an entrance this good, you have to talk about it. Because, good God, just, explaining this shit to people is not easy. You literally have to sit back and watch it and experience for yourself. Because that's how fucking good it is. Chills, goosebumps.
I had people over who, aren't, they watch because me and my other friends watch, and they come over and we all have, a little, watch party. And, they've started watching AEW in the past few months, and they've come around on it. And, clearly they don't understand the Wild Thing yet, but they're, they were even, happy. And that's, non-wrestling fans that were responding to the Wild Thing entrance. Just being that's nuts, that's crazy, look at this, everyone, one person was on there not singing along or going ape shit. This entrance is going to go down as one of the greatest entrances of all time.
Oh yeah, I agree.
This was, Hangman was a great way to open, but oof, man, if this was the actual open, shit. Because I don't know, to me, I don't know, I could be thinking too much, I could be getting really emotional about it, but when Mox kicked down that door and the crowd went wild, that was COVID, fuck you, we're back.
Just the reception, just hearing the crowd's oh my God, the roar in this is electric.
It was,
and also extremely happy for Eddie Kingston because like this is his first time in front of a crowd this big.
Yep.
And he was smiling ear to ear. And to me, it felt like for him, everything has finally paid off.
Yeah, that was great.
Emotional, fucking emotional and wild and crazy, and it's everything wrestling is, and it's just an entrance.
Which
now we gotta talk about the Young Bucks in their Seth Rollins gear.
Oh my god, what was this? I wrote on Twitter like, what the fuck is Nick? What is this, Nick? This isn't you. What is
this gear?
What is
Why did it say pocket?
Why? This is the worst. This is the worst look they've ever had. And I think that's the point. Because they're trying to be assholes.
100%. It's on purpose.
But, yeah.
Yeah, enough gushing over entrances. Let's get into the...
They come out looking like a pair of assholes and they get beat like a pair of assholes. Because Moxley and Kingston pretty much start out this match like, how the fuck dare you come out here and wear this shit? And they pretty much beat them pillar to post throughout the arena. Brady.
Yeah, I was happy to see the streamers and all that. Also, one of my other favorite moments of just this match and the night, 10-man spot by Moxley in the crowd, crushing a can over his head.
Yep. And so
then they beat the shit out of Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, they beat the Cutler's trying to cold spray. I think he's trying to cold spray Matt. I think, and then is like. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And they could pretty much beat him up. That was cool. Kingston gets the better of the Bucks for a little bit. He's doing his All Japan gimmick where he channels like all of the 4 pillars into his moveset and uses it against his opponent, which makes Kingston one of the best because he actually studies the game of professional wrestling.
I put Kingston on that same pedestal as Chris Hero as like aficionados of wrestling. Like, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Wrestling is their life. That is his life.
So the match pretty much starts off, Kingston and Moxley are beating the shit out of the Bucks for a bit. Like, they're making a fool out of them. Like, they're stomping them out of the hole. Like, they're getting shot, they're getting kicked around for a little bit. This goes on for a bit, and then obviously the Bucks would cut them off later. Matt does the most ridiculous spot in the match, where he does a one-man hot tag onto Eddie Kingston, and at first I was trying to figure out what the fuck is he doing, and then he's doing the hot tag spot by himself, and he's doing Warrior spots, he's doing Hogan spots. It's so douchey.
These guys are so dumb, but it's also so funny, but it's also like, I hate you. And it's like, and to me, I'm like, wow, the Bucks are back.
So,
yeah, it's stupid shit.
It's very much stupid shit. Like, a lot of it is very stupid shit. They get the heat on Kingston for a while before Kingston fights him off. He tags in Moxley. Moxley runs wild on the Bucks for a little bit. He gets the advantage on the Bucks until Carl Anderson of the Good Brothers comes out, distracts Moxley.
But while this is happening, my boy Eddie Kingston's beating the shit out of Doc.
He's beating the shit out of Big Dangly, bro.
Yeah,
how you gonna do that to Big Dangly?
Good. He deserved it. Eddie Kingston's beating the shit out of him, and while this is all going on, cold spray.
No, because before that,
before the cold. Oh, yeah, before that,
someone made a bit of an appearance.
I forgot. The Bullet Club Hunter, Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, baby.
Out of fucking nowhere, just tackles Carl Anderson to the ground. I'm like, oh my god, it's freaking Kazarian. And I'm like, oh, alright, whatever. So they're gone, and now Cold Spray.
Now Cold Spray, and then Matt just basically dunks the Cold Spray at the top of the head of Moxley, and that's pretty much...
we got a bleeder.
We indeed have a bleeder.
Because Moxley is bloody. And this
profusely.
leads us into... I thought if the apron suplex was crazy, how about the Bucks say, hold my beer, because here's a Meltzer driver on the ramp?
Ouch.
Well, it's the Indie Taker off the ramp.
Sorry, Indie Taker. Meltzer driver is the
450.
But yeah, Indie Taker on the ramp. Oh no.
They hit the Indie Taker on the ramp. Moxley for the rest of this match is bleeding profusely. Like, it's real. Like, he really got in there with that blade job. After that, Moxley is just beaten to a pulp. The Bucks get to use some of their signature moves. They hit the rope-assisted swanton that Nick hits on. Well, and then for after that, they start beating down on Moxley again. Moxley tries to start fighting back, but every single time he does, he gets cut off by the Bucks. The Bucks at one point, they do the thing that everyone thought they were going to do. They did the shield spot, they did the fist in the middle of that. And they try to go for the double power bomb. Couldn't get it. German suplex, and oh my god, the fucking double German suplex spot from Moxley. Beautifully done. Crowd's going fucking ape shit at this point. They want Kingston in this.
It's already amazing. There's like, oh yeah, the crowd definitely wants Kingston. This match is going full fire at all gears. Like, you would think like, oh, the interference spot's gonna slow this shit down. Nope.
No, it just keeps going.
And there's even more, because the craziest spot of this match hasn't even happened yet.
So it's like, Kingston comes in, he's beating down the Bucks, he's tossing him around, he gets a sick-looking DDT onto Matt. He's at one point, he tries to go for a stretch plum onto Matt here. I don't think he's ever used that before, has he?
No. I haven't seen it.
Well,
Nick's not on AEW.
Nick tries to break it up. Kingston just looks at him like, are you fucking stupid? And then...
Yeah, oh my god. he hit him in the head, and Kingston's no-sell was like, the fuck, bro? I'm sorry. You want to do that again? Okay, he did it again. Okay.
And so... he boots Nick to hell. He starts to hit the Kobashi chops onto Matt, but Nick hits him with the super kick to the leg. The Bucks hit the Motor City spot, and then a knee to the head for a 2 count.
Dream sequence.
The Dream Sequence? That's what it's called?
Yeah, because they stole it from the Backseat Boys.
That's an ROH team, isn't it?
No, that's Trent Acid and Ian Abercrombie. Not Ian Abercrombie. Josh Abercrombie from CZW.
Ah.
Rest in peace, Trent. Anyway.
This is why you, the deathmatch guy, you do me so well. But, we get to the point in the match where Mox takes Nick out of the match. He throws the Dior shoes at Kingston. Referee catches it. Fucking Kingston catches it, but the ref is like, no, can't use it. Puts it away. But meanwhile, Mox has 3 more Dior shoes going up to the top rope. Kingston has Matt set up for the Dior's Day device.
As coined by Excalibur, the best part of this match.
That should have been the finish. I should have fucking...
It should have been... I wanted these two to win. I was like, how do you not have them go over after that entrance? But obviously, you gotta keep the heat going for the Bucks. Sorry to jump ahead. But what a spot. Holy shit. That, again, another thing about tonight. so many of these moments on this show are going to be replayed and remembered and reused for so long, and that the worst day device is definitely going to be one of them.
So, pretty much the end of this match came with Mox and Nick going at it. Mox is headbutting the hell out of Nick. He sends Nick to the apron, but Nick follows up, kicks Kingston in the head. After that, the Bucks hit hit Moxley with some radical-looking super kicks.
Super kick party.
Which they would only get a 1 count before Moxley...
Only 1 count!
Before Moxley stood up and gave the most menacing look I have ever seen from a man into the camera.
Death. And then Moxley got killed.
Yeah, double super kick. Bucks set them up. Kingston tries to help. Kingston gets his leg kicked out and then another super kick. Moxley gets set up for the BT trigger. They hit it once. He doesn't go down. He stands upright. And then they just fucking kill him with 3 more BT triggers. And that would be the end of the match. Bucks retain.
Fantastic.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable
match. What a fucking match. And again, you walk in with Mox and Eddie and again, they're not a tag team by all means. What can you ask for more pure wrestling booking in this match? I can't.
No, you're absolutely right.
The right guys won.
Yeah.
But they're not the guys I wanted to see win, and that's wrestling working the way it's supposed to be. By me not wanting the guys who are supposed to be bad guys continuing to be bad guys and me being upset about it. So I got worked. So, hey, that's stars in my book.
More anything you want to say before we move on?
I enjoyed the match. That menacing look that Moxley gave shows how much he's definitely an unhinged lunatic. I like the Jordan spots, or the Air J's, as I like to shorten it. 10 out of 10. I loved it overall.
Like I said, it's this. Oh man, it's hard. It's hard.
It hits hard.
But this is definitely one of the highlights for me. And it was only the second match of the night, and we were still chugging along to our next match, which I'll take the runs here for a second. That's the Rumble guy.
Okay, go ahead.
We got the Casino Battle Royale. So this year, we knew all of the entrants, besides the Joker, who, without any spoilers till we get there, honestly surprised me. So we start out, here comes Will. It's the Paul White.
He's a special guest commentator for this.
He's our special guest commentator for the night. And honestly, I haven't heard much of Big Show's commentary. What I have heard, I've enjoyed. And, he made this match his own, and he livened it up, and, You know what the fuck he was talking about most of the time, but he was very bright. But again, he's just having fun, and it's the Big Show, and I love it.
It's big.
So we start off with, I believe it was the Spades or the Club. I don't know because also the commentators didn't know what the goddamn card looked like.
They need to stop this. They need to stop. It doesn't work. It just.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like the idea of the Casino Battle Royale. I think it shortens everything. Everybody still gets their entrance.
Makes sense.
It's a spin. They're clearly not going to do a Rumble or a Gauntlet because they don't want to be like the WWE. They want to be different, and this is different. I like the idea of the Casino Battle Royale. I just think maybe they need to make the cards look a bit more like a spade or a club, and so that the commentators are like, I can't tell what that is. Poor Tony Schiavone, he's got to wear glasses anyway. So, we kick it off with our first 5 entries, and they are Captain Charisma himself, Christian, coming out to a massive ovation from the crowd.
With the dopest outfits,
With a really, really stick outfit, actually. I'm not gonna lie, those pants were...
It looked good. Like, whenever Christian has his unrivaled figure, I feel like that should be the attire he should wear. I mean, in the near future, for Chase variants.
But Christian, you're probably not watching, but if you are, where you're listening, or somebody that you know, somebody who knows you, where is my full bodysuit? Please bring back the sparkly bodysuit, Christian. I miss it.
So
and also,
he did his search for the crowd thing, and he actually found a crowd this time.
Yeah, which was amazing. There was a crowd there.
Yeah, there's people.
Yeah.
Which was also really cool for Christian, the fact that, because, this is his first real match back in front of fans since, that IC title match on Raw those years ago.
Yeah.
Because, the Rumble was in front of people on screens being told what to do. But let's not dwell on that. Also coming out, Matt Sydal. He didn't slip this year. Awesome. Powerhouse Hobbs is in this shit. He looked like a beast. Here comes Dustin.
He was.
And last but not least, it is Platinum Max Caster, who doesn't have the best bars on this one, but he does have
Doesn't matter. It didn't matter.
Hold on. What? Go ahead.
I was about to say, that it didn't even matter. The crowd loved it.
The crowd loved it. And he has a great sick one on Christian where he says, you used to be cool when you had an edge. Quick cut to Christian.
That one.
Saying, but funny thing by Christian, quick cut to the Christian face as he's, I guess, talking to Matt Sydal saying, who is that?
that right there, I said, woo! Max Caster, wow! Going in! That was my reaction when I heard that.
He told Matt Sydal not to slip, and he told Dustin to cover his face in face paint, and that tonight was his showcase, which sadly was not his showcase, because he did very long, upsettingly.
You got an elimination.
Honestly, well, I did enjoy the Casino Battle Royale for what it was. I felt like a lot of people came and were gone really quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to get it out of the way.
We start off, everybody, Dustin's beating up Max, Christian and Hobbs are going right at it with each other because of the history that we've seen and, of course, what happened on Dynamite. Matt Sydal's in there doing things. But Max Caster tosses Matt Sydal over the top rope for the first elimination, and I'm like, wow, Matt Sydal's gone already. And that's tended to be the case for the rest of, like I said, people were kind of there, and they didn't do much, and then they were gone. Because not even a few minutes later, after the next entrances, who, by the way, I think were the Diamonds. Yeah, I'm not even
sure. Who cares?
Coming out, it's we got Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy, who, smart on them, wait for the next entrant to come out, who is Preston Vance.
He got a big reaction.
Yeah, honestly, this Preston guy is over. I don't know. I mean, I think he's good, but like, is he from Florida?
I think it's because he was like, they're really building up for the fact that he was like personally handpicked by Brody to be a part of Dark Order. But
yeah, really cool reaction for Preston. Also, really cool reaction for Matt Hardy, who again, also like a lot of the people on tonight's card, getting to wrestle in front of an AEW crowd for the first time since COVID, since Matt Hardy debuted during COVID.
Yeah, there was no crowd when Matt made his debut.
So really cool for Matt to get that tonight to be in front of, and Matt goes a fucking long way, and some really funny stuff with him and Christian later on. But yeah, Preston Vance comes out, and he's up to Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy's game plan, and he just boots Matt Hardy right up at the top of the stage. He says, nah, I'm not taking this shit. So he's just beating the hell out of Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy. He heads to the ring. Matt Hardy and Isaiah are just kind of like dead on the top of the stage. Up next, we got Nick Camarado.
My boy, Big Nick Camarado, baby. He was a big boy. He looked awesome.
This dude comes in like a tower of fucking shit. Another guy that the WWE let go. If you didn't know that, he was in NXT, and he was only doing the Florida circuit.
Wait, he was
yep.
What?
Yeah, yep. he was signed to it.
And he only did the Florida circuit. He never made it to TV.
Nope.
Damn.
So good for Nick Camarado, because, man, he's got something to him. Once we start getting a bit more out of this guy, ooh, I'm excited to see what happens. Like I said, I'd love it if the FTW title became sort of like a never title or like a big boy thing, because you've got a lot of people now for that.
Him and Preston had a damn good sequence in this match. I liked it. Two big beefy dudes going at it. You pretty much had, it was like Preston and Nick, they were going, just trading shots at each other. I think Preston hit him with that sick spine buster that he does. Then he tries to eliminate Nick through the top rope. He hits him with two clotheslines. He's trying to send him over the top. He tries to go for the third one and gets absolutely demolished with a spear of death by Nick Camarado. Oh my god, this dude's a beast.
That was a devastating spear from Camarado to pull off.
The last entry to come out for the Diamonds was Serpentico!
And he did not.
He did not want to be there. He didn't want to be here.
He did not.
Luther says, "Get the fuck in there." And what happens to Serpentico? He got in there and he's gone.
He's done.
So that's Serpentico's night.
It was actually funny how he did not. I just like that moment where Serpentico's like, "No, I don't want to be here," but Luther says, "Nah, come on, you got this, bro. Good luck." You're already out.
Around the same time, Max Caster gets eliminated, which really surprised me. I thought he was going to go a little bit longer, or at least until Bowens came out. That didn't happen. And then Dustin Rhodes eliminating both Preston Vance and Nick Camarado. Nick Camarado says, "I'm not happy about this," and wallops Dustin in the head with with the cowbell, setting up their bull rope match this upcoming Friday on Dynamite. So Dustin gets all woggly and woobity. But now we got our next entries, and it's the Hearts. I'm just gonna say it's the Hearts. Fuck it. So we got the Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman Jr., and who the fuck was Griff Garrison?
They got a great reaction as well, especially really Brian. Reaction. I was very happy that Brian got that reaction as well.
Again, somebody like Brian in front of like a big crowd for the first time in his career, because he's been in like smaller crowds, so that's really cool for him. And of course, coming off of the Dark Side episode, so great for him. My boy Cole Cabana, I always love seeing Cole Cabana. Boom, boom, Cole Cabana. Anthony Bowen shows up. Pentagon in a sick Joker gear. Whoa, my God, was this Joker?
I adored that attire so much. I love Penta's Joker attire. I'm sorry. If he had like the Joker card, I feel like that could have gone well because with the attire that he was wearing.
I feel like I would have liked it more if Preston didn't do the exact same thing like 5 minutes ago. Like that.
He only has it like really tiny in the mask. The Pentagon had a whole thing going on.
Yeah. Okay.
But so there's some stuff going on there. Anthony Bowens tries to do the Acclaimed have arrived. Pentagon says no, Cero Miedo instead. Finally, Cassidy and Matt Hardy are finally back in the mix. They get rid of Cole Cabana. And then also during all of this, Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, they chuck out Anthony Bowens. He's gone now as well. Sadly, Cole Cabana got eliminated, and I cried a little bit. But then we got our last set of entries before our Joker. We got my boy, Jungle Boy, the other half of Private Party Mark Quinn, Aaron Solo, who's filling in for QT Marshall. I think that's just because QT didn't want to wrestle. Evil Uno, and Big Shotty Lee, John.
Shotty Lee!
Who also doesn't really do much in this match. Enters the match, goes after Aaron Solo, gets rid of him, and then Matt Hardy's like, nah, alright, and you're done for the night as well.
Man, he got rid of the person he was supposed to get rid of, so.
Matt Hardy with a lot of eliminations in this.
He kind of played. Yeah. He kind of is like what he did in the tag team battle royal, where he like played spoiler.
We get at this moment, Big Show brings up a good question. Where the hell is Powerhouse? I started wondering the same thing. I'm like, did he get hurt? Is he eliminated? He'll be here in a few seconds, because before Powerhouse shows back up, we got Pentagon. He's on the apron. I do believe he gets rid of Evil Uno after Evil Uno tries to recover after getting thrown over the top rope. And then out of nowhere, Jungle Boy leaping through the air, Huge Hurricane Rana. Peace out, Pentagon. As Pentagon goes over the top rope. That was really sick. I love Jungle Boy. And then, here's Powerhouse Hobbs, who just demolishes Private Party.
I'm gonna have to say in this, the way that Isaiah just screamed, that was I was gonna laugh at the fact that he just screams at certain moments.
From the entire building, you can hear it. It is hilarious.
And then, at this point, it's Private Party and Matt Hardy, Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. It's 2-on-3. Who's the Joker? Who is it going to be? Is it Nick Gage? Is it Andrade? Is it a New Japan guy? No, it's Leo fucking Rush. I was genuinely surprised.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I know he's had there's a lot of interest for him going to AEW because he recently did that fucking Cody thing where he had a bunch of lists of people who he wanted to fight. So I had a feeling like he was going to be here eventually. I just didn't think tonight was going to be the night.
Mentioned in the media scrum that they had already reached out to Leo. He was too busy doing the challenge on MTV, so they weren't able to get him in. They were able to get him in tonight. Great moment for that. Huge reaction by the crowd once they realized who it was. Sadly, has a little bit here and there. I think he...
he didn't get one elimination.
He gets, I believe he's trying to eliminate Isaiah or Mark, and Matt Hardy just comes up and says, "Peace out, Leo Rush." Kind of surprised that Leo only was in there for a little bit. I mean, yeah, he got to show off a little bit. Him and Matt Hardy did a few things here and there, him and Private Party. But I didn't get to see anything with him and Jungle Boy, which I would have been really excited for. I mean, I think they do have plans to have Leo Rush around. He'll probably have a dark match. He'll probably have something on Dynamite. But I'm just really surprised that, all the build-up for the Joker and not much of a payoff.
Although I will say that I thought the final three of this was perfect.
Final three, yeah, it comes down eventually to Jungle Boy, Christian Cage, and Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy tries to team up with Christian Cage. This was really funny. Doing a 5-second pose. Throwing up the Hardy Boy sign, throwing up his hand, being like, "Hey, we did the ladder match thing, remember?" Goes in for, the Hardy knuckle thing. Christian says, "Yeah, you got it," and says, "Alright, and goodbye, Matt Hardy." And now we're down to Christian and Jungle Boy, and wow, this was a great little sequence between the two of them, which also featured, one of my favorite things also on the night. Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, they're on the apron. Christian's looking for an I'm prettier, I'm not calling it a kill switch, on the apron, which would have been sick. Jungle Boy gets out of it. Christian throws Jungle Boy into the turnbuckle. Oh no, is Jungle Boy going to get eliminated? Nope, he's Jungle Boy. Swings around the ring post like he is Tarzan. Back into the ring. Crowd loses their mind. Christian comes in to try and get rid of Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy flips him over the top of his head. Christian gets eliminated. Crowd goes apeshit. I lost my fucking mind watching this. I screamed too loud and I was very drunk. Great victory. I know a lot of people wanted Christian, but fuck that, Jungle Boy. This is his moment. And the crowd singing along. Marco comes out. Luchasaurus comes out. I start getting teary-eyed. This match is everybody in the crowd singing along and waving their hands. Christian gets in the ring, goes up to him, says, "You win that fucking title," gives him the show of respect by the hug. Crowd's still into it. Christian leaves. Great moment.
I legitimately almost cried after the end of this. I was emotional. Because, that victory and that reaction towards that win, it's the basis of what everything wrestling should be. That is the moment, and that is the reaction you should be leading up to with, almost every single one of your guys. Especially for a guy like Jungle Boy, who's so young in his career, but to have him get himself over in that short amount of time, he get the reaction that he did. It was so good. It was so great. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, Christian didn't win, but it's like saying Christian will get his chance, but not just yet. That Battle Royal is just saying he's gonna get there eventually, but now, not the time. For now, let's let Jungle Boy get this victory. Because when you hear the crowd just going for Jungle Boy, I had a feeling that Jungle Boy was going to actually win the thing. Because the reception for him, it was, with Tarzan Boy playing, the reception of the crowd, there was a sign that Jungle Boy was going to win, regardless.
So, after that,
it's the TNT Championship.
No, the fuck it isn't! Up next, it is time for the match that everyone has been waiting for. They've been building up to this thing for months and months.
Baker and Hikaru
Nope! We get the special one-on-one match with the governor, Anthony Ogogo, taking on Cody Rhodes, the American Dream.
We got Anthony Ogogo and Homelander.
So, Anthony Ogogo comes out with the British flag, dressed up in his usual gear. Like, it's nothing special. It's just another night on the job for Anthony. He's gonna knock this pretty bitch boy out clean. And then Cody gets, of course, has to Cody this whole fucking entrance. He's got new orchestra theme music, orchestral theme music, and he comes out dressed up like fucking Homelander.
I literally
with American flag boots.
And the American flag waving in his fucking Titantron.
Now, granted, the crowd is completely for
They love it. Look, we're in Florida. Of course, they fucking love it.
Well, they also love Cody.
That's true.
Now, the internet wrestling community hates Cody, and I love Cody. But I mean, this crowd, they got what they needed out of him tonight.
I don't know if the internet wrestling community hates Cody. I think they think he's very corny.
I don't know. They just like to fickle at times. That's what I like to think when it comes to the internet wrestling fans. They fickle.
I mean, in all honesty, out of all the matches, this was probably weakest. But even by that standards, by all means, it was not a bad match. It just honestly wasn't a lot.
The problem is that it was a match to begin with. They should have been 3-4 minutes of Cody trying to do everything in his power. Because, let's put this in perspective, alright? That gut shot that Anthony Ogogo does has been built up as the most dangerous punch in all Elite Wrestling. It only took one. It only took one to take out Austin Gunn, even though he stood up multiple times. But even then, it only took a few shots to take Austin Gunn down. They're really building up. He's an Olympic boxer. He's a bronze medalist. He's one of the biggest names come out of boxing. Everyone knows who this guy is. He's coming in here. He's looking to whoop Cody's ass. And then what happens? He hits the fucking punch a minute into the match. And then they just have a regular wrestling match. What? What the fuck? Why? You go through all of that, you build up to all of that, and you have them do a regular wrestling match. Now, granted, this was not a bad match. This is actually very good. It showcased a lot of what Anthony Ogogo could do. He pulled out a frog splash. He did an Olympic
better frog splash than Dominic.
You leave Dominic's name out of your goddamn mouth. You hear me? He did a frog splash. He did an Olympic slam at one point. But it's why? That body shot should have been it, or at least close to the finish. But they pulled it out a minute early, and then they just proceed to have a normal match.
Well, it seems like that the while the body shot is a thing, they're really doing. I guess the uppercut punch is like his finisher, though. The governor's hammer. I mean, again, I don't know the way the match ended, like cool vertebraker, but I was also kind of like, huh?
Cody pulled out a cow mutilation, which I thought was cool. That has to be a sign for something. It has to be. Otherwise, Cody's just being an asshole and stealing Danielson's moves, and I don't appreciate it.
Again, it was a match. It was good, but I don't think it was the match that the story was building.
No, it wasn't. That's the problem here.
I don't know who to blame on that.
It's the problem with Cody because it's like I know for a fact that he has a lot to do with booking these fucking matches. He has to. He was the fucking veteran going into this one.
Can we also mention the introduction by Justin Roberts, the grandson of a
son of a plumber, the son of a
common man, and a father to be.
So Mario is Cody Rhodes' grandfather then?
Yes.
I know it.
Cody Rhodes Mario, just like Luigi Mario.
I can't believe it.
Mario.
You know, my friend brought up a good point, and I kind of agree with him on this, actually. But, like, anything, the Cody Rhodes segments on AEW feel like a whole different night.
Yeah, that's because it is. He's very much in a universe of his own. Everything else on Dynamite feels connected. Cody Rhodes is in a fucking weird time stream where everything is connected to Cody Rhodes. And it's very very disconnected from the show, and that's the problem. He doesn't feel like a part of the show. He feels like he's on his own island.
He feels like he's a special attraction.
Exactly.
But he's Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I honestly don't have much else to say about this.
Cody Rhodes basically ends this one with the vertebreaker, which is looked pretty good. It's the best one he's ever hit out of the few times he's actually hit the damn move. So the fact that Agogo was able to sell it pretty well, because he had it. Agogo had it. He was bracing for this shit. He had his legs up. He's like,
he's like, I'm ready for this. I'm not dying.
I don't want to die.
I can only think that the reason this happened is maybe the crossroads because of Agogo's eye. Like, would that be a reason? Like, this would be safer?
Yeah, it's like, I kind of understand why Agogo lost, because, the whole thing, they were just, Agogo was like, he was just struggling to pull these moves and such. So, I feel like that's why Cody won, because, the way that Agogo was, like, struggling, and, the laceration he had, it's like, okay, maybe they should probably end this, because he's not really experienced when it comes to being a pro wrestler, because I feel like it was his, like, first time wrestling in a big event with a big crowd. That's just me.
I have nothing more to say other than the wrong man went over and that this match went way too fucking long. Long live the governor. After that, we go on to our TNT Championship match. It is Lance Archer taking on Miro for the TNT title. This is pretty much what I expected it to be. It is two big boys hossing it out, middle of the ring, killing each other for the good few minutes, and it was good.
You forgot to mention not just killing each other.
Oh yeah, that's right! Before the
match.
No,
in the middle of it.
No. I'm talking about before the show started. So before the match, the show replay of what happened during, like, I think it was like they were doing like a fan festival thing, and they were all talking.
It was a fan fest.
Yeah, a fan fest, and it was like they're all talking, and then some shit happens, and everything in the ring starts breaking down. Miro goes over and punches Jake Roberts in the dick, and then leaves, which I thought was hilarious. Which now,
yes, and they had made mention that, oh, well, we don't know if Jake will be here tonight. He does eventually show up. This match hard hitting back and forth. They're going crazy. Archer tries to go right off the gate for a tope. Kind of catches himself a little bit with the rope, but he still goes for it because he's Archer. A beautiful tightrope moonsault that he does as well.
Does a fucking tightrope moonsault.
Lance crawling on the outside. Miro chucks Archer over the guardrail, which was crazy. Archer slams Miro through a table with a spinebuster. By the way, the bell hasn't rung.
No.
Eventually, they get back in the ring. Everything's breaking down. And the match begins. Hey, we're starting the match now. Archer attempted like a moonsault press, but Miro gets out of the way. Followed up by a beautiful fallaway slam.
From that point on, it's basically Miro trying to do everything in his power to put down Archer. And then, like Adam says,
Oh my God, here comes Jake Roberts with a snake!
A snake comes down with what is believed to be a snake in the bag. Miro grabs Jake first, tosses him away, then he grabs the snake, and then he chucks that motherfucker
First he starts shaking the bag. He is shaking this bag. He's like, "Oh, I got a snake!" And then, just like Tama Tonga with the ROH tag titles, chucks this goddamn bag onto the ramp. This thing smacks into the wall. PETA is pissed. I don't think it was a real snake.
Of course not.
But it did, but still, Jesus Christ. And that's not the only thing involving an animal tonight either.
So, Miro goes for the yes kicks. He's grabbing Lance Archer by the hair, and he's kicking him in the chest multiple times. He tries to go for the next kick. Archer grabs him. Archer hits him with a ripcord Bossman Slam. Looked fantastic. Like Adam said, as I check my notes here, I think Archer tried to go for that fucking moonsault again before immediately getting knocked off. Miro then hits the fucking kick, this running super kick of death to the face of Archer. Archer gets knocked out completely by the kick. Miro tries to lock in the game over. He can't do it. Archer's too strong. He won't go down. Miro then literally has to kick him in the back of his knees in order for him to finally get this thing in. Locks it. It goes all the way back with I didn't even think he was going to be able to do it with Archer, but he did it with Archer. It looks so fucking good. Archer doesn't even tap out. He passes out. Aubrey calls it. Miro is still your TNT champion.
Great match. It's exactly what I wanted. There were two guys, big, beefy men going out there killing each other. Archer does a pounce in this match, which was awesome. A little callback to his friend Monty Brown. Which, again, seeing a man like Miro get, bounced off of Archer is just an insane thing to see. These two work really well together. I don't know if this is going to be the end of their feud. I feel like it's not, but eventually Archer does need to start winning feuds. I
agree.
But I didn't hate this match at all.
No.
And, Miro deserves to win. He needs to keep that momentum going. It's just, I don't know if I would have had Archer be the first feud. But all in all, great match.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep, a fantastic match between a monster and a brute. But in the end, Brute gets the victory. I enjoyed it.
So, after that, Matt...
Oh, is it time?
It is finally time.
It is time!
It is time for the AEW Women's Championship match as Dr. Britt Baker DMD takes on the reigning defending AEW Women's Champion Hikaru Shida. I'll let you take the lead on this, considering you sound very excited to talk about this.
What are you talking about?
You!
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, finally. The gods have spoken and have delivered us what we've wanted, and that is the era of the dentist. What a fantastic AEW women's title match this was. These two women, I mean, you want to talk about a actual, like, a feud that, in all honesty, wasn't, you know, it wasn't naturally built like this. You know, Hikaru breaking Britt's nose was not obviously planned. But somehow that 1 year ago turning into this, like, this year-long story journey for Britt and for Hikaru, who finally got to do the one thing she's wanted to do the most, and that is defend the belt, win or lose, in front of a full crowd, coming out in, championship white, immediately almost breaking in tears, which was a really, like, sweet thing to see, because I knew that Shida was, this is the one thing she's wanted more. She could have retired right after this match and she would have been happy. Britt Baker coming out, another let's blow the roof off reaction, cause my God, is the dentist over. Everyone doing the DMD in sync. Britt coming out in some sick ass Scott Hall inspired gear, which was awesome. Paying tribute to Scott Hall. There's a great picture of her at a fan access a few years before AEW even existed, where she and Scott Hall were together, which was really cool, and of course, adding to the whole, bloody Britt Baker thing. I just thought the symbolism was perfect. Everything about this match was on its top tier. There was there was a little bit of part in the middle where it seemed like something may have gone wrong, but they were able to pick it back up. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe there was a quick little miscommunication, but they were able to pick that shit right back up into gear. I assume you have the actual match notes, so I'll let you go bit by bit there, because my only note is Britt Baker wins. That's the only note.
So, this match, like Adam said, I don't know what it was. I thought the match in itself was pretty good. I thought they performed well enough. I just think that there were some miscued spots that didn't really translate well in front of the audience, which kind of hurt it for a bit, but I think the crowd was enough invested in the match that it didn't drag it too much. There was a point in the match where Hikaru Shida tries to go for her top rope backbreaker, but I don't know what happened. They kind of, like, mistimed it or whatnot, but she couldn't get it, and they had to, like, they didn't redo the spot, but they had to think of something else on the fly. So, yeah, there are a lot of, like, there's a point where Shida tries to go for a drop kick, but she goes for it too early. But they had a good, decent amount of spots in there. Shida tries to go for her knee while Britt is on the apron, and then Britt pretty much catches her with a sick kick to the head. I like that. That was pretty cool. Britt had some devastating looking cravat knees to the head of Shida, which was pretty good as well. Hikaru Shida, it's a pretty good looking superplex from the top rope for a 2 count. It's her signature knees in the corner. When the match kept going and going, it got better and better, which is the best thing I can say. You can have a slow start, and you might not have it figured out by the start of it, but if you can pick it up and you can keep it going, and you can get this crowd emotionally invested, then you've done your job, which is the best thing I can say about this point. At this point in the match where she hits her knees and stuff, Hikaru Shida is just starting to get more and more belligerent with Britt. She starts, she starts pie-facing her. She starts pig-nosing her. They have a bit of a struggle for a bit. Shida hits a suplex. Britt Baker follows up, catches her with a sweet-looking sling blade, follows it up with an air raid crash of death for a 2 count. Very much like that spot. Shida, like I said, tried to go for the thing, but it didn't work out. This is the point in the match where instead she just tries to lock in the stretch muffler. Rebel tries to get herself... Rebel tries to get herself involved. She grabs the belt. Shida tries to go take a swipe at her, couldn't get her. Britt
instead.
Yeah, Britt then tries to go after Shida. Shida reverses. Britt gets hit in the head with a crutch. Very close 2 count.
Near on a Falcon Arrow, which I thought, that one of the closest near falls in this match.
Yeah, they really made you believe that Shida was going to walk away with the victory.
There were times I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah. So, I think Shida tried to go for a knee again, but couldn't get it. Rebel swipes in, puts in the
title.
The title, which, no, she doesn't get, Britt grabs the belt while Rebel was distracting the referee. Shida grabs it again. Shida gets super kicked with the belt in hand, and that's when, the Britt hit her with the curb stomp on the title for a
thick looking.
Yeah, very close 2 count for Britt there. After that, Britt would then, I think Shida hit another knee. She's trying to hit the Tamashi one last time onto Britt Baker. Shida has her lined up, hits her for a close 2 count once again. And it's like, okay, when the fuck is going to end this match? Finally, Britt gets her in. She's got her in. Shida's trying to crawl to the ropes, trying to fight with everything she got. She's got the glove. She locks in the lockjaw. Shida taps out immediately. And you could see the smile of just absolute glee on the face of Britt Baker when she does. She knows she has just won the AEW Women's Championship. Yeah,
the crowd going crazy. Rebel runs in the ring. A very, 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 very special, sweet little moment for Tony Schiavone and Britt on the top of the stage. That was really, really nice to see. Crowd chanting along, DMD chants, you deserve it chants. Also, Shida got thank you Shida chants afterwards. But just all in all, the crowning. Was this the Bret Austin for AEW? I guess we'll have to see what happens. But in a sort of way, double turn maybe. I don't know. But Britt Baker tonight was made, and that. Going forward, honestly, maybe she is the face of this company.
Yep.
All around, Huffin. A very, very good women's match between these two ladies. Like you said, started out a little clunky, but the more it progressed, the better. It just kept going. And by the end, the tension and the heightened drama between the two of them, how is this going to end? Was great, and I really did like the ending with the lockjaw. She had the regular one locked in, which Hikaru was able to get the rope almost, and then Britt realized, well, that's not happening, does the flip over, and then locked her hand in the mouth to really sink in the victory.
And now we are going to get on to the third, well, not the third, but we got 3 more matches left here. We go off to Darby Allin and Sting taking on Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. And now, I said...
The Men of the Year. That's their name now. We were all like earlier on, they need a team name. Apparently they're the Men of the Year. At least that's what the Titantron said.
So, I said, well, on a lost episode in which we did, which will never be released, sorry, had something stuck in my throat there, that I needed a reason to why Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky are a tag team. Because beforehand, I just thought they were just two single dudes brought together. Well, I'm starting to get an idea on why these two might work together well. Because after this, they make for a pretty good heel tag team. I must say. I'm still not 100% sold on them, but they performed very well because this was a very good match.
Well, like I said earlier, I think, in the same sense that it's Scorpio coming off of a tag team where he was kind of the third wheel, and Ethan coming off of his tag team in Impact, making a name for himself. These two, I still don't exactly know what the connection is. Besides, they're bad guys. But, the in-ring stuff is starting to get there for me. They're starting to work as a tag team, the entrance and all that. I would like some matching gear.
They had matching gear in this match, didn't they?
But it's still kind of, off. It doesn't feel connected still.
You just don't They look like America's Greatest Tag Team out there. You had Ethan Page, Charlie Haas, and Scorpio Shelton. They look like Team Angle.
But they're douchebags.
Exactly.
More?
Well, I actually do admire how Scorpio and Paige are. In fact, I was actually intrigued on how they were. Plus, the Men of the Year name, that definitely could fit Sky and Paige, because how they are, it definitely fits the name. Men of the Year. I actually like that. I'm praising it. But overall,
They also had new team music as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a remix going on.
Their name...
What?
Their name reminds me of a Schoolboy Q song. You don't even know who that is, do you?
Heard of him.
What is that, actually?
He's a rapper.
But let's talk about what we're all really here to talk about.
Sting!
And that's Sting.
That is Sting!
60-year-old
fucking years old! Wow!
And right out of the gate. The Men of the Year, they're coming out, and then we get this really cool Sting and Darby video package. Sting's picking up his son from school. It's ready, it's showtime. They're all cool, badass, face paint daddy. And Darby comes out, Sting comes out. Holy shit, the reaction for Sting. I mean, I'm not surprised. Sting, you could see it in his face. Very excited, very happy. But also, still Sting. Typical Pearl Harbor to start off. But let's talk about what if not the spot of this entire match, and the match hasn't even started yet. Sting takes his shirt off. That's already a spot in itself. Sting without a shirt on. Amazing. I haven't seen that since 2006 Sting. And then he jumps off of these poker chips. Sting with the diving crossbody. 62-year-old Sting.
Wasn't that when Scorpio went to body slam it and he immediately got up and no-sold it?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah?
He completely no-sold and was like, nah, bitch.
Came off the top, it's not a day went by. This match was booked so well. Because it was basically Darby takes all the punishment and then Sting gets all the glory. Which is what it should be. Sting's not going to take a lot of bumps, you know that. He's a very old man. And Darby is willing to kill himself to get anything over. So this worked perfectly. So it's basically what you would expect. It's Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, getting the heat on Darby for the most of the time. There's one point where Ethan just chucks Darby to the crowd, a la fucking Spike Dudley, Mike Awesome, circa ECW style. I think he tossed it. I think his
brothers.
Yeah, his brothers were there, so that was cool.
Darby hit. I thought his ankle had shattered. His leg hit the guardrail. I was like, oh well, great. I was really upset though that we didn't get a Spike spot though. I was really hoping for them to pick Darby up and crowd surf him, and the crowd is eating that up. I hope we eventually get that.
I don't think we'll see that happen anytime soon.
But it would be but it would work because Darby got thrown into the wrestling spot. I guess they're going to continue doing this where at least the dark people will get the front row.
What do you mean dark people? Huh?
Jesus Christ.
What does that mean?
AEW dark people. And elevation people. It seems as though they're going to be sticking around as part of the crowd, at least behind the main cam. I think you can do the Spike spot with them because they're wrestlers. They'll be able to pick them up and they have no COVID issues. They're all wrestlers. It'd be cool. It'd be cool to see a Spike Dudley thing in 2021. And Darby is the perfect
I think Darby would rather eat the concrete than have the crowd surf. That seems more his style.
Yeah, guy's like a daredevil.
But this main whole story of this match is Darby getting his ass kicked for the good majority of it. Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky look pretty damn good working over Darby. Darby finally gets the tag out to Sting and he runs wild. He's just hitting all the classics. The Stinger Splash, the Woos, Scorpion Deathlock, all the whole 9 yards. And that basically leads up to the ending of the match. The finish of this was fucking great.
Before we get to that, I want to talk about this really cool spot, though, since you brought up the Scorpion Deathlock, where Sting had Ethan in the Scorpion Deathlock. I think Scorpio had a sharpshooter or a single leg or something on Darby. And Darby and...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They just walloping on each other.
Beating the shit out of one another.
I was loving that. That was awesome.
That was great. That was fucking great.
Cool moments.
So, yeah. What?
And then also really cool for Scorpio, because as we know, the little tidbit of story that we got for this was Scorpio Sky pretty much making it clear that Sting was his childhood hero and everything, and that he was excited to wrestle him.
You see, Sting, at one point, I was a little Stinger, but now I'm the big Stinger. That's what he should call himself, the big Stinger. The big Stinger.
It must have been really cool for Scorpio to not only wrestle Sting, but to also give Sting his big victory, because wow, the ending was really, really smooth.
So, during the match, those Sting got worked over, it was pretty much his legs, which was basically the whole thing with Sting in this story. He kept getting chop blocked by Scorpio. Every time he had his back turned, Scorpio would just chop block his leg. And so, basically, Scorpio is just going after his leg for the most part. He has Sting set up in the corner. Sting sends him over, but he lands on the apron. He tries to go for that signature rebound cutter that he does, but Sting holds on to the ropes for dear life, has Scorpio set up perfectly, and then nails him with the Scorpion Death Drop for the 3 count, and the crowd goes wild, and everybody goes home happy, except they didn't go home. We still have 2 more matches left.
Yeah, we still have 2 more matches left.
Yep.
Again, this match was exactly what it needed to be, and that was get Scorpio and Ethan over as a tag team and a heel tag team. Darby gets to do Darby stuff, but mostly Sting in the ring, looking great, for 62. Looks like he hasn't even missed a beat from getting buckle bombed and being told, hey, dude, you're done. No more wrestling for the Stinger. And he's out there. He's jacked up with no shirt on, which was awesome. In the full-on Sting, he does the beating the chest spot. He's doing Stinger splashes. I'm like, wow, this dude's 62? Come on. You tell me another 62-year-old wrestler who looks that good for his age and can still go that well. The Sting was on fire.
How old is
And
Tully?
the ending was awesome as well, because that Scorpion Deathlock transition out of the springboard cutter was so smooth.
How old's Tully?
Older than Sting, I'd have to guess, but Tully's not wrestling.
Yeah, but he looks.
Yeah, that way. Oh yeah,
You saw him. You saw him in those jeans and that shit. That man's looking pretty good for 67.
He is 67. But we will talk about Tully and that whole match.
More? Anything you want to add to this before we move on?
I want to say Sting definitely looked good in that matchup. And, 62 years of age! Wow! And he still got it! I loved it. I'm actually a Stinger fan as well, though. So, yay for Sting for his in-ring return for the first time since 6 long years. I actually enjoyed it, though. That's all.
So, after that, we move on to our World Championship 3-way match. It is Orange Cassidy and Pac looking to take out Kenny Omega to become the new AEW World Champion. Could they get it done? We'll find out in a matter of moments. But I have to say, I might have to go back and rewatch, Rollins, Lesnar, and Cena, and also Benoit, Michaels, and Hunter, but I think this might be up there as one of my favorite triple threat matches ever. This was amazing. This is so fucking good. So, the whole story of the match was basically, you got Pac, who's like the super serious one. He's pretty much the black sheep out of anyway, because he's like his own person. But you either like him or you don't like him. And for the most part, people like Pac because he's unfucking believable.
He only ever wears his gear.
Yep.
The man does not own clothes.
He doesn't own a shirt.
He doesn't own a shirt or pants or real sneakers.
When was the last time you actually saw Pac just
that at signings he signs in full gear?
You're kidding.
No, there were pictures of FanFest and stuff, or him at early AEW autographs, and he is full gear in it. There is no. This man is a fucking. No, he's nuts. This is a crazy, crazy fucking man. He's like, nope. I'm mad all the time. Maybe it's because I don't have clothes. You know what? Maybe if we got Pac a shirt, he'd be happy.
I think if we got a Pac a shirt, it'd probably rip right off of him.
He'd probably just rip it off the moment he just puts it on.
He's a bastard. He has to remain miserable, otherwise what's the point?
But I gotta say, for AEW to do their first ever triple threat, and it to be this good, wow. Because, I think a lot of people going into this were, I'm not afraid for it to be bad or anything, but I think people were really hoping for it to be like an ECW 3-way dance deal. They didn't want the traditional WWE triple threat style, and that is not what we got at all, which was very refreshing. The majority of the match was two guys, another guy comes in, a little bit of a double team, and now it's us again one-on-one. With some really good triple team moves in there sprinkled throughout, including a really sick double German.
I wasn't worried too much about this because in terms of talent for a triple threat match, I don't think you could have picked 3 better people because these are.
I was also worried about interference, which we didn't get a lot of. Thank God.
They had 3 of their best singles talent in this match. Pac, who is just a fucking freak of nature, man is literally like one of a kind. I don't think there's going to be another one of him in a fucking long ass while.
This man, the W. That's
Hold on, a brain buster though. I'm
not-
like, woo!
let's not talk about.
Yeah, did you see that fucking brainbuster he hit on Orange Cassidy?
Oh, it's
Oh
so
my
sick.
God.
Dude.
Wow, I haven't seen a brain buster that good in so long.
Oh my god.
I have never, like,
Crushed him.
when I see Pac wrestle, I don't think I ever see him, I don't think I ever see him pull a brain buster, but the way that he pulled that was just devastating at its finest, like,
He doesn't half-ass.
so fun.
He doesn't half-ass anything. He makes everything look good and gross, and I love it, and I love him.
I really like the story here is that all three men, there was like, even though Kenny is Kenny and he bad guy, crowd is still cheering for Omega until the end, because wow, Orange became like the biggest babyface. Like,
I knew as soon as this match was gonna, like, once they got into the host, I was like, with Orange Cassidy, like, oh, it's gonna take that match up to another level. And my god did it. Because as soon as he started hitting orange punches everywhere, everybody in the crowd just started losing their fucking mind. They love this motherfucker. You can hear it. It's just, like, he defies what comedy characters are in professional wrestling now. Like,
I don't even know, like, if you can like, is he even still considered a comedy wrestler, or is he more of like Colt Cabana, where it's more of a of like a niche type situation? Because like, he's funny, but the concept isn't supposed to be he's funny.
It's not like
he's not Santino, where it's like, yes, the point is you are funny. We're supposed to be laughing at the joke. It's like it's the gimmick itself that makes you laugh because of how like
nonchalant he is. Then
he goes in there and he's like a killer wrestler at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I would definitely say he's like Colt Cabana levels of like the comedy elements, but I don't consider you completely a comedy wrestler because you could do more than that, and it's clear this match showed it.
Another thing in this match... Oh, go ahead.
I mean, he had those matches with Chris Jericho. There's that.
Which I think really started to get people to see, alright, this guy might be a big deal, probably. Like I had to feel like he's gonna do something for the company, but I think after his match with Jericho, they were like, okay, there might be actual... We could probably put a title on this dude kind of deal. So I like how the majority of this match is just like Kenny and Pac just both think that Cassidy is the biggest nuisance ever. Like they both want nothing to do with him. They think he's kind of in the way, and so they do everything in his power to just get him out of there. But fucking Cassidy won't leave. He doesn't go anywhere. He sticks right there with them. You know, he still does his like little nonchalant gimmick here and there, but he's like right there in terms of like wrestling. Like he sticks with them the whole way through for the majority of the match. He hits a double Hurricane Rana on them at one point. I think he hits like a sick tornado DDT on Kenny at one point. That was pretty good. I know
there's a sick Falcon Arrow that gets the closest near fall I've seen in a long time. That Pac does on Omega, where I thought this was it. Wow, that got me.
There's also the point was like, I believe this is the point where Callis got involved, but he hit the orange punch on Omega, and the crowd goes absolutely wild. The referee goes for the two, goes for the count. He gets to the count of two. Callis pulls him out. And you could just hear the entire crowd groan, and they start a "fuck you, Don" chant throughout the whole crowd.
Fuck you, Don chants, which I was like, yay, fuck you chants.
Yeah, more profanity. We're gonna be hearing a lot more of that soon.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
But-
let's not. I mean, we can't break the fact that this is not all continuous.
What do you mean it's not all continuous?
Oh, because this is part 2.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for breaking the fourth wall.
Well, because things happened today that we can't talk about yet.
Ugh. So, basically, this all goes on for a little bit.
Yep, belt after belt after belt. Oh no, not the Impact title, the TNA title, the Mega title. Oh no, not the AEW.
He just cracks. Omega just cracks Pac with every belt imaginable. I think he grabs the Impact title first and then smashes him with it. And then it's the TNA World title. He smashes him with that. And then the AAA Mega Championship. And he smashes him with that. At this point, I'm just wondering how the fuck is he not... I've seen people get hit with less than what Pac did, and they start gushing immediately. But somehow Pac's skull is made out of adamantium, apparently.
Pac is not human. We know this.
No, that's true. He's a
bastard. Again, he doesn't wear clothes.
He's a bastard.
That is his final form. And at this point, I'm thinking, oh, please don't tell me this is how we're about to end this match. Because if this is how it ended, I was going to be a little disappointed. Because I'm like, oh, that's such like a Fed move. Nope. Orange Cassidy out of fucking nowhere with a fucking French punch, taking down Omega. The crowd thinks this is it. And then surprise crucifix.
Fix 4-3 count.
2-3.
I saw people get upset with this finish, and I didn't understand why.
I thought it was perfect because it not only does you don't have to rely on the one-winged angel, so you don't have to kill Pac or Orange Cassidy. I think this keeps Pac looking good because he wasn't involved and he was assaulted by the belts, so he still has a reason to be like, I didn't lose fairly. You knocked me out with belts, and I didn't even get pinned. And it makes Orange still feel like a threat because Omega had a win through crucifix and not normal means, meaning that Omega at that point was starting to think, uh-oh, maybe I am discrediting this Orange Cassidy fella, and I do need to get a quick victory like this so that this can end and I can get out of here. I thought perfect heel tactic. I thought this was a good finish.
Yeah, me too. I thought in terms of making Orange Cassidy look good and make him look like a viable threat, saying I was about this close from beating you. I don't think you can get a better finish than this. So I think everyone came out of this looking damn good. I can't wait for the day where Orange Cassidy is just fighting for the world title on a regular basis, because I think after this, it proves that he should be in that world title picture on a regular basis. I love this match. I love all three men. I will probably watch this over and over for the next month. So, yes, fantastic job, AEW.
Very fantastic indeed.
Or you got anything?
Just fantastic match. I definitely like the outcome of it.
All right.
I'd never be at this point is saying Hangman Omega for All Out. I can see Cassidy and Omega maybe.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. We got dates now. For 2 shows. You got AEW All Out that is going to be returning to Chicago, Illinois. That's going to be on September 5th, 2001.
A full capacity Chicago crowd post-COVID. If you thought tonight was loud, get ready for Chicago in September.
Oh, hell yeah. And also, we got AEW Full Gear is going to be in St. Louis, Missouri on November 6th. So, 2 pay-per-views for AEW already announced. They clearly got big plans heading into them. I can't wait. Especially with crowds now being back in Full Gear. But, yeah. No, what do you mean, no? I made it funny. I added the name into the joke.
Yeah?
This is what happened. Yeah.
Oh, you're so cool, Brewster.
I don't have to take this. Main event time.
Get that reference?
Main event time. Stadium Stampede. It is time to find out the fate of the Inner Circle once and for all. The Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. The last time these teams went at it was Blood and Guts, where the Inner Circle gave up because MJF was about to kill their leader Chris Jericho, and so Sammy quit. MJF killed Jericho anyway, or so we thought. Jericho just kind of broke his arm, I guess. And so...
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And
so, we got this match.
Yeah.
The Inner Circle loses.
Yay.
They must disband forever. Spoiler alert. Is not over. This shit is far from over. And I have no idea how we're ending it. No idea how we're ending it. But the match itself I did enjoy, so.
Yeah. So, the match starts off with Inner Circle making... No, wait. The Pinnacle made their...
the Pinnacle,
it was just MJF who made his...
MJF in a stretch limousine, wondering, where the Inner Circle at, and, where's the rest of the Pinnacle? We'll get to where the Pinnacle are. But the Inner Circle, on the other hand, gave me a heart attack.
They came down from the rafters.
And I was so scared.
Well,
this was meant to be like a badass entrance, and all I could think of was, please don't fall. Please don't fall. Because at one point, Jericho, when he first goes off, he smacks into the LAD board. He went down really fast at first, and I was like, oh no, oh my god, no.
Oh, damn.
So they're all coming...
Besides that, the entrance was sick, and Jericho stated that they asked AC/DC if they could get Back in Black, and AC/DC said no.
Oh. Well, I think the Judas thing worked better, because I always enjoy the crowd singing Judas, even though some people can't stand it. So they all come down, the crowd singing Judas in the background. They're all standing there intimidatingly, and then it's about 5-on-1, and it's MJF. He gets back in his limo because he sees he's about to get his ass kicked by 5 other dudes. And so they are all banging on this guard like, oh, where's the Pinnacle? Where's the Pinnacle? Well, here comes the Pinnacle, and FTR's broken down truck. Tully, Dax, Cash, and Sean, and Wardlow all come out of the car, and here we go. We start brawling. The Stadium Stampede happens. And so, basically what you need to know is that this match is broken down into segments. You got...
Yes.
Everybody
is doing something with someone.
You got Jericho with MJF. You got Guevara with Sean. You got FTR with Santana and Ortiz. And you got Hager with Wardlow.
Yes. And everybody's getting their own little stories involved. Some better than others.
Yeah.
Some stranger than others. But all in all, I mean, I will say they made it clear that this was not supposed to be a comedy. They dipped into the comedy a few points, but I don't think it was the same kind of comedy that...
They had fucking Conan as a DJ!
Well, like I said, there were... Yeah. Okay. I guess we gotta break...
They fucking had Guevara and Spears play musical chairs! They had fucking...
There was some... Really, again, Jake Hager almost getting stabbed with an ice pick.
Oh my gosh. Like an ice cube. An icicle or
not
something.
just icicles, but also 2 extremely fake pig carcasses.
Yeah. He's very clearly plastic.
Second time of the night where I was like, animal death. Okay, AEW.
At least it was pre-animal, post-animal death.
Why do they have meat in the meat locker?
Because it's meat. Because all it's Wardlow and Hagen. This big beef in the meat locker. You got to pit the meat in the meat locker. Adam, what part of this aren't you getting?
Well, for one, it's not that it wasn't beef. It was pork. Two, it's the off season. No one's eating it. Why is there fresh meat in the locker? But that's just one of the spots, and they're fighting, and they're going through boxes and shit in the back, and it's Hager and Wardlow, and they pull a Kane Big Show WrestleMania 17 spot, and they crash through a wall, which was really cool. So like that's the whole like story on their end. It's just two guys breaking shit.
Hager at one point, I believe he chokeslammed him through a wooden scaffold or some shit. They were just breaking shit. That was their point of this. We go off to another section of this match, which is, for some reason, Daly's Place has a club. Also, there's a club. What doesn't Daly's Place have, apparently? They have a pool, and they have a literal club, and Pride and Powerful show up, and you pan over to the other side of the bar, and there's Dax, there's Cash, and there's Tully Blanchard.
When I saw Tully in that match, I'm like, you're so old! Why are you in this match?
Tully Blanchard in his Daisy in, like, not Daisy.
He's cut up t-shirt! The cut up sleeves! You can see
his little bandana. His little bandana. I was like, Tully's trying to tell us something.
He's ready to hit the fucking town after this match, brother.
Like, Cash and Dax are there looking like all badass, and here's our grandpa.
Tully's ready to fuck, bro.
He's getting down and fuck!
At first, I'm watching this, and I'm like, alright, so it's 3-on-2. But it's not 3-on-2. Before we get to the cameo, they start fighting the patrons in the club, and then when they finally meet, instead of fighting, they say, no, we're gonna have some shit.
We're gonna have a shot!
And then the cameo, who I had already noticed once they showed this DJ, I was like, this motherfucking Conan.
Santana pretty much said, fucking turn this bullshit off, spin that real shit. Conan was alright, I got you, brother. LAX, Arriba Raza.
Conan starts fighting Tully Blanchard. Which,
my God, it's old mania.
I never thought I'd see Conan and Tully Blanchard fighting again. So, like, that's the story there. And honestly, I don't think we ever go back to them after this.
No, this is pretty... They go into an elevator, and then they disappear.
And that's it. That is their... And powerful for the night.
I mean, look, it was memorable. It got what they wanted. It was fucking great. We got to see Tully in his probably the sexiest attire he's ever had in professional wrestling.
It was cool seeing Conan. Since Conan has been involved before when it came towards the Inner Circle when they went to Vegas. So there's still continuity. So that's them. That's them out of the way. Again, yeah, Jake Hager and Wardlow, they're still fighting. But let's get on to the main two storylines of this.
Let's start with the weirdest one, which I believe is fucking...
Sean and Sammy are fighting, and then at one point, Sammy loses him, and he's like, where is Sean Spears? And we get this crazy zoom-in shot of Sean Spears in a giant chair room, sitting in the middle on a chair, banging the chair on the floor with, like, these blue and red, like, streetlights. I'm like, is this about to be a musical? Is this Chicago? Is this that, like, scene where they're in the jail cell?
Like saying...
Like, are they about to start singing? No, they're not about to start singing. They're about to start swinging because they have a legitimate chair fight in the middle of the chair room.
It was great. Get it? Because he's the chairman. Adam, he's
No, I understand.
Adam, he's the
chairman.
chairman. He was surrounded by chairs. Don't you understand? Do you not see the deep philosophy in this booking? He's the chairman.
No, I get it.
No, you don't.
I got it.
You don't understand. He's the.
I liked it.
What is the gimmick? What is the gimmick?
He's the chairman.
What? What? It's not what a chairman is.
No, he's the chair.
No, I understand. It's been this way for 2 years. Why?
Sean Spears rules.
No.
Spears. With the glove.
So basically, after that, it's just after that, they're swinging at each other. Sammy starts doing some fucking parkour shit. He literally becomes Spider-Man during his fight with Sean during most of this. At one point, Sean just loses Sammy, and Sean finds him. Sean finds him again, but this time Sammy's not alone. Sammy brought an old friend with him.
Yeah, Sammy's got the golf cart.
After a whole year, it comes full circle.
He brings the golf cart back, but this time he's in the driver's seat.
He goes up.
He starts to chase down Sean Spears to the point where Sean loses him, and then it comes across the Inner City Motorcycle Club, which I completely forgot was a thing. But not Excalibur, who immediately was like, "That's the Inner Circle Motorcycle Club. That's definitely
the fucking what?
The what now? I forgot. These were the bad guys from the Bronx or Brooklyn or whatever that Santana and Ortiz came out with. Remember?
No.
Don't you remember during was it the Elite stuff or whatever with Mike Tyson, and they had the Barriqua Bronx Street Gang or whatever the hell it was?
No, I do.
Yeah,
I don't.
well, I do. Sadly, nobody else seemed to, except for Excalibur, who was very honest.
He was very happy.
Sean Spears gets chased by them, and that's the end of Sean Spears.
No, Sean gets fucking ran over by Sammy in the golf cart.
Well, no, but that's it for them for now.
For now. Okay, yeah,
Sammy and Sean will play a huge part on the finish.
We gotta talk about the last of the main ones.
Jericho and MJF. We gotta talk about MJF and Jericho. Most notably, the biggest part about this, something I don't really understand. Maybe you guys will. They enter a football coaching room. Where the head of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Urban Meyer, is there, and Charlie Strong, who I believe is also another coach. I had a friend with me who actually understood this one, so I was able to get a little bit of a heads up. Huge pop for this guy. I'm not a football dude, so I don't really understand it. He was they seem to enjoy themselves. They fight through, beating each other up.
Local sports teams, Adam. It always gets you.
Yeah, local sports teams. The Urban Meyer says, "Oh shit." That was a little funny spot there. I didn't pop the crowd and everything. Nothing harmful. Nothing bad at all. People seem to enjoy it a lot. I don't know. More you football guy.
Well, when Sean was getting chased by the motorcycle, I kind of said this. This is what Sean was probably thinking. He was thinking, "Oh shit." Just the initial thought of him getting chased down. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Probably thought that a few times during this because he got chased down by a lot of vehicles, mainly bikes and golf carts.
Like, oh shit! With the motorcycles, oh shit! With the golf cart, oh shit! At one point,
fucking, I think Jericho put him through a glass again.
Yeah, he did. There's some funny spots here. They're fighting through after they leave there. They're going through the hallway. MJF punches a cardboard cutout of the Hot Con, which was funny because that's their actual boss.
And then Jericho
literally puts MJF through the Forbidden Door.
Oh no! Didn't he dust? Didn't he dust off the cardboard cutout and pat him on his head?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
That was funny. That was very funny because that's our.
Really like that
boss.
trope.
So that was funny to see. I was hoping we were going to see Shad Khan or Tony Khan somewhere like in one of those offices, just be like working and being like, "What the hell?" Sort of like when they did Money in the Bank and Bri walked in on Vince.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been funny, but I was cool with the cardboard cutout. I thought that was even funnier because Jericho being like, "Oh, okay, clean the cardboard cutout because he's still our boss."
There's
but then now they're fighting in this other, I guess,
management
room. There
was a point where Jericho had stapler and a piece of paper that said,
I bought for this.
You're welcome."
Yeah, it was oh my god, I was like, wow, we just got a fucking staple spot of somebody getting something stapled to their head on national TV. Yay.
It said,
now,
and I thought
a little bit closer to a Lucky 13 match.
A what?
A Lucky 13 match is an ECW old staple where the only way to win was to staple $13 to the opponent's body.
Huh.
Who was in that?
Axel Rotten and Ian Rotten.
That sounds about right. But this all pretty much leads up to, 4 people actually making it back to Daly's place.
You forgot the fact that Floyd was just hidden behind a wall for some reason.
Wait, what?
Floyd.
They're in this.
Oh yeah, the baseball bat.
And all of a sudden, Jericho just turns a wall around, and there's my bat.
There's what? What do you mean?
What did he?
It's like he's like Batman. He's like the Batcave. He's like the Batcave. Daly's place is basically the Batcave. You know where everything is if you go around and touch things long enough.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yes.
So that happens. He fights MJF with the baseball bat. But now we're back at Daly's place, and there's 4 people at this point that we have to focus on. MJF and Jericho, they're fighting in the crowd. Their crowd's loving this shit. And this at point, Jericho power bombs MJF through a table of some sort that was up there. And seemingly, I thought, well, that's it for Jericho and MJF. How is this about to end? And it ends, honestly, really cool.
Yeah.
Because it comes down to Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara, which I thought was a really cool, it doesn't need to be Jericho and MJF all the time.
Especially considering that it's pretty much not over between the two of them.
No, not at all. And also, this match, to me, definitely felt like this was the stamp of approval for Sammy Guevara to be a new main event star.
So
go ahead, finish us out. See,
you have to run through because I remember the 6:30 spot, but I had having trouble remembering the spots leading up to it.
So they're starting to get to the ring, and they're battling and everything, and Guevara's getting shit kicked out of him by Spears. At one point, Shawn sets up a chair in the corner, similar to what he did to Sammy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he's looking. Obviously, he wants to do the curb stop again, so he's got him up. He's gonna go for the C4, but Sammy is able to get out of the C4, and but when he gets out of it, Shawn Spears whale-ups him with a flying chair, which looked really sick. I was like, Jesus, we're just doing head chair shots, I guess. But Sammy, he's getting the shit kicked out of him by this chair. He's getting everything done to him, but he delivers a stomp. At one point, he gets Shawn. He gets him ready. He's got him in control now, and he puts him over in the corner. And he says, Shawn, it's gonna happen. And Shawn's saying, no, Sammy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it.
You son of a bitch.
And he curb stomps his face right into the chair like he did to him. Goes up, hits that 6:30. And Sammy Guevara picks up the victory. making this a complete full circle. Not only to the fact that Sammy was the reason they lost the War Games match, but also in the first Stadium Stampede, Sammy was the one who took the pinfall from Omega, so to come full circle a year later, and Sammy's the one that gets the victory, I thought was really, really good storytelling. All in all, was it better than the first? I think the first, just in the same sense as the Firefly Funhouse and the the Boneyard match, will live in infamy as a very special time at the beginning of this COVID when people didn't really know what was going on and everybody was just kind of just going off doing whatever they wanted to keep intrigue. Those three matches will live in infamy in the bubble of their own. This one stands out on its own for being a bit more of an actual wrestling storied match. There were still some cinematic moments, but the first one way more enjoyable for the entertainment value, but still this one was just as good. If the first one was like 5 stars, this is like 4.5.
I feel like that despite this not being as campy, or probably not even as memorable as the first Stadium Stampede, you can't say it didn't do anyone good, because that'd be a lie. This did wonders for Sammy Guevara, and to have him to be the sole survivor in this whole thing, giving him the victory, giving him that big moment, giving him that big main event victory on a pay-per-view is huge. It's absolutely huge for a young guy like Sammy Guevara, a guy that they obviously a ton of potential in, a ton of, they see tons of star power potential within, and I think they pretty much sealed it right here when they gave him the victory, had him standing tall by the end, having him save the Inner Circle, the group that he was kicked out of but came back, and then just multiple times having been run down, and now he's finally at the top of the mountain. I thought, in terms of just like getting someone over, I think this one did a hell of a lot better job than the first one. Even if I can't say that this one was a better spectacle than the first one, I can at least say that I think this did way more for Sammy Guevara than the first one did for the Elite.
I don't think it's just Sammy. I think, I think Sean Spears got elevated because of this match more, considering where he was when he first came into this company to then where he ended up. I think his stock has risen because of this. We got to see more from Wardlow, which was good. We got to see more from Hager, which was nice. Pride and Powerful and FTR were kind of like the comedy spot of this whole thing. They really didn't do much. But, it's fine. It wasn't revolved around them. I really do hope we get that singles match between the two teams, though. But this was not about. It started off about MJF and Jericho, and it ended about Sammy. And I think that is what needed to happen. Because while I think maybe the Inner Circle Pinnacle stuff is over, group-wise, clearly MJF and Jericho are not going to be over.
Oh, so you finally get close to your mic.
But I think if the situation is that we're going to be getting Jericho and MJF going forward, I don't think we need the rest of the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle to also be involved.
More?
At least that's my concept.
Your Tony concept!
I really do gotta agree. It was well deserved that Sammy definitely deserved that victory, because talk about poetic justice when it comes to what happened a year ago, to the first Stadium Stampede match, Sammy eating the pinfall. Then you look at a year later, he's the one that pinned someone in a main event spot. I'd say that's like poetic or some. I mean, it wasn't really the Stadium Stampede match to me. It wasn't really like it wasn't. I'm not gonna say it's perfect. It's just I enjoyed it. It's not perfect. I mean, still, Tully was very old. I don't know why he was in that match. He should have just should have been there at the last minute to be just to be the distraction instead of just competing.
You have to be there to look sexy.
By looking old, honestly,
looking like a gilf in every sense of the word.
I can sense he's gonna break his own hip if he's actually gonna do it. Like during in the bed, like, oh, my hip! Oh my gosh! But overall, same CP for me. I liked it. I wouldn't say it's perfect. It's just, it was fun overall. I enjoyed it. Liked it, funny moments here and there. Big old congratulations to Sammy Guevara for the victory.
I think more than anything, that this Stadium Stampede proved that maybe the true inner circle was the friends we made along the way.
And friendship is magic.
Alright! And with that, we're gonna...
All in all, I thought, if we're gonna just quick analysis of the whole thing, I couldn't have asked for a better return to form pay-per-view for AEW, and it truly does feel like a new era going forward for them. Now that the crowds are back, and everything just feels like it's back to where it was when they were starting to just get their feet on the ground. And now the crowds are back, the stories are all going to be going full-fledged. The roster is finally getting itself back on track. The women's division, I think, is back to form. And it clearly showed with the two amazing women's matches we had tonight, especially the pre-show match. I don't know. I can't see, the fact that, they're getting 1 million views lately on the Wednesdays, and just, I do believe having that crowd is going to bring all those people who weren't watching back. And you add all those people who weren't watching, and the other people who started watching, and the ones that continued watching, the growth in this company in the next year, 2-3 years, is going to be something amazing to watch, especially with just everything that they have going for them. The TBS deal that's coming up, which is going to get them into 1 million extra homes. The Rampage show. We didn't even mention Mark Henry.
Do we have to?
Mark Henry's there now, guys. He's
and
a coach
Mark
analysis,
Henry's,
and he's
an
analysis.
Honestly,
listen, but here's the thing about Mark Henry. He was one of WWE's most credible and I don't want to say successful recruiters.
I'm not ready.
When it came towards
I'm not ready to talk about the Fed right now.
No. But I'm saying that Henry was a huge get for, I think, AEW in the sense of his recruiting ability. The man has had really good success in getting superstars signed. Now they have him in AEW, which is even going to be better because they'll be able to have that talent and that mindset. People in that Fed put him on that level with Regal when it came towards scouting. So to have Mark Henry, I think, is a big asset. So yeah, we didn't mention that, but that's cool. This company has nothing but shining stars and nothing but go up. I don't think there's any low. And this pay-per-view showed it. For 4 hours, didn't feel like 4 hours.
Alex, fucking Adam getting very sentimental on this show.
I love this company.
Alright, and with that, we're going to close it out here. Tell the people where they can find you.
For those that are interested in, if you want to see better booking from my version of the WWE, LOL, you can actually check out my YouTube channel. It's at Positively More, where you can see the best matches from Raw, SmackDown, CPVs, and over on Wattpad, it's Rising Stars of Wrestling. It's like NXT, but signing, characters that you've never seen before from cartoons, anime, video games, original characters, all that jazz. Also for other non-wrestling stuff that I'm currently doing on Wattpad. And I want to say follow me on Twitter, but I want to say sorry about the timeline if you get a comment for all the... you know what I meant. That's all. you can follow me on YouTube, Wattpad, Twitter, and probably Instagram. Yeah, I made an Instagram a long while ago. Fairly active there, but you can follow me if you want there, if you guys got it. So, that's all. So, thanks for having me.
And we're very glad to have you. And with that, that's going to do it for us here at the Four Post Massacre Podcast. Adam, anything you want to say to these lovely people?
Shit.
And my name has been Simply Zaya. We will see you next time.
Ricocheted pants.